One. What's up, everybody? Welcome to Attack the Talk. I'm your host, AJ. And this is the podcast, the number one Attack on Titan podcast, where you can go ahead and learn about Attack on Titan. We love learning about Attack on Titan. We go ahead and we break down each episode in chronological order. We are on season 4 currently, and we have a lot of season 4 to go ahead and cover. We are currently still on episode 9. We will be finishing up that breakdown in this episode. So go ahead and stick around with us. But yeah, we're getting to an official start. I hope that everybody has had a good week. I hope that we were just talking about Father's Day, and hopefully everybody was able to go ahead and enjoy Father's Day, whether that's spending time with family or if by chance your father isn't in your life, just took that day to go ahead and just do something nice, relaxing, or go out and do something, exactly. And I hope that you guys had a really good weekend. Joining me in this episode is my co-host Lex. Lexi will be here. Lexi's eating a baked potato, and our other co-host Zach is not here for this episode. Zach is out traveling out over in Europe, so really excited for him. And we're gonna go ahead and have some kind of fun things to go ahead and talk about in this episode. I'm excited to go ahead and talk about, we were talking about food earlier, and Tish mentioned about like Zach embracing his inner pasta man, and I kind of asked, as far as what pasta was her favorite, and I love Tish's response. She says, my favorite pasta is yes. Such a great response. And and so I want to go ahead and talk about a certain top 10 list that I came across this week, and
while I'm eating potato.
And potato. Isn't that the perfect segue to what I'm literally trying to go ahead and segue into? It all just kind of like, finds a way of just connecting and stuff like that. We're going to go ahead and kind of talk about Sasha in this episode in a way where we don't want to talk about Sasha, but potato. And this list is about potatoes. I'm eating a potato
actually in honor of Sasha. This was all planned out.
There you go. But this list is about potatoes. And that would be a top 10 fast food fries. And like I said, I saw it. It was a top 10 list. I was really kind of curious, and I glanced at it, and I saw some fast food chains that I very much recognize, as well as some that I do not. And maybe some of you who are over in a different part of the world, or if you're over in the East Coast of this
people
of
tend
US,
to have pretty strong feelings about French fries too. So this is a good list to talk about.
And I want you to air your grievances if you disagree, because some of these are controversial. I will say that. And if you just go ahead and let us know as far as what you consider to be a top tier fry. I know it's very subjective. I know that there are many different sort of fries, right?
Yeah.
One thing that I did
even
kind
the
of
cut
notice,
of a fry changes. I feel like
of course,
a lot of it.
Yeah, of course. And I noticed that there is a little bit of a common theme when it comes to the top fries, and I feel like just fry enthusiasts appreciate a very flavorful, and crispy fry. Okay, if it has a nice crisp factor to it. I think that for me, you got to have that balance a little bit, but it can't be too crispy,
Yeah, I'm a fry light type of girl.
Yeah, like you said, there are many different styles of fries. This list is a top 10 list, and this list, I believe, I got to go and look at it, but this list was made because of Yelp reviews. I want to say it was around over 400,000 Yelp reviews that were gathered as far as information, and they gathered this list together, and they did a top 10 list according to Yelp reviews, and I noticed that there was also like a bottom 3.
Yeah, they just had to
fast food chains.
They just had to shit on
that were considered among most, the worst fries, and maybe you guys can agree on that as well. But I'm excited for us to go ahead and cover that. We do have a Q&A as well.
We do.
And I'm excited to go ahead and talk about that. It's just a fun little list that we did last week, where we kind of did about according to the viewer, according to you, what you consider to be your top 5 list of attractive AOT characters, right?
Yes.
So I'll let Lexi go ahead, and when we're ready for it, she will give us the actual question that we went on to go ahead and read out to all of our friends.
For this.
And and then we'll be able to go and do that.
And Jacob, we're grateful that you're here too.
Yeah, I'm able to go ahead and pull up chat as well because I am on YouTube and.
Aww.
So
back in 2022, we were barely on season 2, episode 2.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
3 years ago today.
Wow.
That's
You
weird.
said season 2, episode 2. So we've covered that ground in 2 years. Going on 3 years. 3 years, right? 2022.
How
you
long
said.
did it take us to do 2020? Let me try that again. How long did it take us to do season 3?
Well, the thing is though, season 2 is a shorter season.
It is.
You know, so season 3 is where
Season
we
three
start
took us
getting
a
to
little
some. We start getting to some, you know.
Season 3
like-
took us a while.
Yeah, season 3 was a journey for sure.
You guys like hearing me eat? I'm almost done, I swear.
Real quick, as far as the anime or the manga, excuse me, that Jacob's been reading, Chainsaw Man. I bought the manga, but with the internet down, he can go ahead and read it. So he's on the second volume out of 11. Wow. So the 11 that you have, interesting. And again, I talked about how it's like we're so reliant over on technology. So it's like when Wi-Fi goes down, it's such an inconvenience.
Yes.
You know, it's one of those things where it's like, damn, like what do I do with myself? But it's great that you're able to go ahead and find, you know, a way to, you know, just pass the time and also enjoy the time by, you know, reading manga. And
I know, good for you,
man. That's, you know, all going well.
Great for you.
What is going on? So
Daddy is a state of mind, says Tish.
Daddy is exactly.
For Father's Day, yes. Daddy is a state of mind.
Hey, I'm almost as old as you jerk, Chopper Growl. 100%.
Jerk.
Alrighty, I hope you guys are again all doing well, and if we have anybody that new to tunes in, joins us, just go ahead and say hi in chat. We want to go ahead and just have you guys go and hang out with us and stuff. You know, you can just kind of say hi, and all that stuff.
Ready.
All right, so do you want to do the Q&A first, and then we can go ahead and
then we'll
do
go
a
through
top
the
10 list and
potatoes.
stuff? Yeah, perfect.
The
Let's
French
do that.
fries.
All right, so Lexi's going to go ahead and tell us what the question for the Q&A that we asked is.
We asked you guys last week and on Instagram. Check us out at Attack the Talk podcast on Instagram. We post all the Q&As and everything on our story. But we asked you guys, who were your top 5 most attractive men and women in AOT? Ooh. And we got 2 responses, given we did talk a lot about this on the podcast already.
Yeah.
So if you guys want to see more of that, check it out last week's episode.
Yep.
But we're probably going to share the same exact opinions here. So you don't really got to go anywhere. Except we have Chopper here to share his opinions too, right?
Yeah, no, Chopper here. Chopper is kind of holding down the front over there on Zach's side.
He's the producer, actually.
He's looking very zen, 100%.
I know. He's just keeping the peace.
Yeah.
All right. So, in response to this question, we have friend of the show, Bobby7 on Instagram.
Yeah.
Hello,
What's up,
Bobby. Bobby said his top 5. I'm guessing that this is, I don't know if this is 5 to 1 or 1 to 5. I don't know.
Ooh.
So I guess we'll have
I
to.
guess we can all be the judge of it.
Yeah, we'll figure it out. He goes, Frida, Historia, Mikasa, Irvin, and then Annie as a Titan.
Oh, shit.
Annie as a Titan specifically.
Okay. All right. Well, how I kind of read that was the number, the names that you listed were from top to...
Yeah, it seemed like it was listed in their order.
So you want to say it again with like as if hit the top one.
Yeah, starting from top to bottom.
Yeah.
I believe this is what Bobby means.
Yeah.
Number 1 is Frida.
Okay.
2 is Historia. 3 is Mikasa. 4 is Irvin. And then 5 is Annie.
Okay.
Annie as a Titan.
Yeah.
Annie as
Bobby
a Titan.
says awkward entry. What's
you've
up,
been
Bobby?
summoned.
Do you want to go ahead and
Hi, Bobby.
confirm?
Would
Do you want
like
to
to
confirm?
confirm?
Let us know. Did we read that correctly? Do you have Frida
Jacob
as
said
your
that
top?
He did list mine, and he did list his in his ranking.
Okay.
So we know that Jacob's is in his ranking.
Yeah. So just let us know, Bobby, that we're reading that correctly. But we want
Bobby,
to welcome
is your number
you
1
and,
Frida and your number 5 Annie in her Titan form?
Yeah, or is your number 1 Annie in the Titan form?
I know. Is your number 1 Titan form Annie? Is that what you're into? Giant Titan lady? You and Pixis got something in common?
Oh, he said in no specific order. Okay.
Oh, no specific. Okay. Well.
But okay, so kind of putting you on the spot
could
here.
Be number one.
So putting you on the spot here. All right.
If you had to put him in an order.
If you had to just give us number one. Okay, you don't have to go ahead and give us name out in numerical order from 1 to 5. Just
right.
If you happen to have a number one.
Out of Frida, Historia, Mikasa, Irvin, and Titan Annie.
Okay, interesting.
I would love to hear it.
Okay.
But
that's a really nice list.
Out of those
very solid list.
Not bad.
And all very strong characters.
Mm-hmm.
So obviously what Bobby looks for in a little, and as far as attractiveness and all that and qualities, looking for some fierce strength.
Yeah.
For sure. So,
but also Attack on Titan has a lot of strong.
Yeah, so many strong characters.
Especially strong
great.
women. They have a lot of strong women in there.
I love that
anime.
I love that the characters, they're all they have different story arcs that really do kind of define them and their strength, and then they only kind of grow from there and stuff, like these characters are constantly tested. I mean, obviously we understand the premise of what the story is, it's a group of people that just are surrounded by these monsters, these titans and stuff. They're confined within these walls, and so there's going to be a lot to overcome, but it's so cool that like you said, anime can very easily just go ahead and do some fan service, right? Mm-hmm. And make the different female characters just kind of there for that fan service, but not Attack on Titan. I mean, Attack on Titan. Yeah. Interesting here, Bobby. He pulled out a ringer.
Yeah.
He said probably Peak. Not gonna lie.
Well, she wasn't in your list,
Peak
Bobby.
Was not on the list, but
he wasn't in your list.
I guess he was saving number one for chat.
Yeah,
we appreciate that, bro.
Thanks, Bobby.
Thank you.
Bobby was like, I'm gonna specifically tell you number one is Peak. Thank you for that, Bobby.
And you know what? I think that a lot of people would probably have Peak as number one.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah, for sure. She's a very pretty girl.
As a matter of fact, while Lexi goes out there and gives us the next response, and thank you again, Bobby, for your response. We appreciate it as always.
Hang out.
I'm gonna go ahead and look to see if we have a top little list, maybe by the people online that have already done this.
Yeah, I tried to read one off last time. Oh no, I read off the ships. That's what I read off last time.
Yeah. So I'm gonna look
try
up.
to see what the people of the internet say.
Yeah. I will do that. So yeah, you want to go and give us the other response, Lex?
Yeah, our other response is from Jacob. Surprise, surprise. He has confirmed it is in order of top to bottom as they're read out. So Jacob's response to his top 5 most attractive men and women in Attack on Titan is, for men, it goes Eren is number 1.
Okay.
Then Flock. Surprise.
Okay.
And then 3 is Levi. And he said, that's it. He doesn't have another 2 he wants to put on the men's list. And then for women, his number 1 is Rico.
Okay.
Number 2 is Sasha.
Okay.
Sorry. R.I.P. Number 3 is Mikasa. Number 4 is Petra. And number 5 is Goth Mikasa.
Okay. I like that you guys are being very specific
universe.
To almost different little character skins or whatever and stuff,
Thankfully and also unfortunately, Attack on Titan.
What the fuck does this
There's many forms.
Tish says Falco without his face.
Yeah, Falco when he's dead.
Oh shit.
Okay, so Eren, Flock, and Levi. Those are your only 3 for men. Got it. But you know what I'm surprised about, Jacob? I'm surprised you don't have founder Ymir when she's older. Because I remember whenever we talk about her, you seem to really like her, really like older founder Ymir.
Mm-hmm. Oh, Tish wants to clarify, not Falco without his face. She's talking about Porco.
Oh, Porco without his face.
That does make sense. And Porco, I think Porco is a nice, rugged, kind of rebellious character that maybe if girls are into the bad guy type, the bad boy type persona.
It's when he's finally chill is the only time he's attractive.
Yeah.
She's my super number 1, says Jacob. So this is everyone's number 1 reveal then.
I love it.
Is what we're getting.
So we're getting down.
I am surprised because that's what I was saying, dude. Every time we bring up adult Ymir, he's always like, baddie. She's bad. And I'm like, she's not on the list.
Bobby has to hear me out. He says, giant skeleton Ymir. Whoa.
Well,
Founding
that skeleton has boobs too. I think the skeleton has boobs. Okay, so Aaron, Flock, Levi. All right. I personally wouldn't have put Flock up there, but okay.
I don't think many would.
And then I don't think many would. And then Rico is a pretty good pick.
I feel like Rico is one of those forgotten about characters because we were introduced and we saw Rico very early on. I believe it was
getting thrown
season
so much
1.
more
Maybe
info.
I don't know if we see anything of her of season 2, but from then on we don't really get any Rico except for maybe background appearances and stuff. You know, whenever there's kind of a group gathering of sorts.
There's a little more to worry about in what's going on with the show.
Tish, whoa, is this your number one, Tish?
I do agree with Goth Mikasa being up there.
Yeah, that's valid. Tish says for me, it's pre-time skip Jean.
Pre-time skip.
Wow.
Jean. Wait, which time skip? Which one?
Yeah, we have a couple different time skips, but you're talking about season 1 through 2. Well, essentially it's seasons 1 through 3, Jean, right?
Yeah, there's season 1 through 3, Jean, and then there's season 4,
the
Jean.
Jean we see
and then there's movie Jean.
Oh, okay.
I feel like.
All right.
I don't know which one you are referring to.
Bobby has a question for us. Do we have a personal top few, maybe 3 or so?
Oh, probably. Yeah. After thinking about it, yeah.
Yeah, I went ahead and I kind of named on who I thought last week as far as what the maybe consensus is, but as far as my top 3, if I were to go top 3 male and top 3 female, all right. My list would be, let me think about this. 'Cause this is
I do really like Goth Mikasa.
Oh man, I don't know if I'm gonna be as specific as saying like a certain, version of a character, but okay. I'm going to go ahead and just kind of stick with a little bit of the norm. I'm going to go with peak Historia Mikasa.
Okay.
Top 3 right now. That would be like, thinking about it, I'm like, I think that is probably my top 3.
Those would be like your solid 3.
Yeah. And
she said Aaron's mom, Carla. I think
is very,
Zach
very beautiful.
Zach brought her up last time.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, I think you might have, or somebody in chat brought up
him that
Carla.
I was like, what about his mom?
Yeah, and then that's when Zach had like the the realization.
Oh my God, add her to the list.
Respect to to Carla Yeager, because she's
a baddie, but she's in there for like half an episode.
Her presence was just so overwhelming that they had to kill her off, early on, because she would have really made an impact.
Bobby said Rico was a nice pick, Jacob. Legit forgot about her. Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Dang, this is hard to pick my top 3 because I'm bisexual. I have all of them to choose from.
So for top 3 male, for me, all right, Levi 1.
Okay.
Levi's just fucking stud.
Pretty popular. I mean, he's like considered one of the most attractive anime characters.
As a matter of fact, I looked it up, and AI went ahead and gave me a list as far as consensus for top 5 women and top 5 men. So I'll go ahead and we'll say that. All right. So I got Levi up there.
Of course.
And then I will throw in. Man, I'm just gonna stick with the norm again, except for my third characters, because of where my heart is. I gotta go with my guy Armin right there.
I think Armin might be on my list.
But then I'm just gonna put Aaron in there. That's the top 3 right there. I'm gonna do Levi, Aaron, and then Armin.
Okay.
Yeah. So my list is pretty. It's just nothing special.
Levi,
okay,
Aaron, Armin.
That's just kind of how it is. But yeah, you have
mine's
your list.
a little bit more specific.
I'm honestly disappointed in myself because I wanted to be more specific, but for whatever reason, I just couldn't get into the specifics of it. And
it's hard to when talking about the attractiveness of an animated character, but also like we know these characters so well and so closely.
Yeah,
I would say my number 1 might be Goth Mikasa.
Okay.
My number 2. I think my number 2 is going to be Aaron.
Okay.
And then my number My number
So
two.
are you doing just an all together?
Yeah, I'm just gonna do an all together.
Okay, so if you're doing all together, would you be able to give 5?
Yeah.
Okay.
My number 2 is Aaron, but specifically Aaron when it's like right before he gets his head shot off by Gabi, and he's like running to Zeke.
Okay.
He looks pretty attractive there with his long hair and is just wearing like a white long sleeve. He just looks like a simple man.
Okay.
All the other times he looks way too dead.
Yeah.
That Aaron. Number 3 is gonna be.
We get an interesting look of Aaron in this episode.
Yeah, we do.
Okay, we'll talk about it.
The Tatake. Number 3 is probably Armin.
Okay.
And specifically like kind of season 4 on of Armin. And then when he really comes into his own.
Yeah.
Number 4 is Jaw Titan Ymir.
Okay.
I think she's very pretty. Mm-hmm. Actually, you know what? Yeah. Number 4 is going to be Ymir, and number. I'm sorry, I'm leaving you out, Levi, because number 5 is Hanji.
Okay. Respect.
Okay, not bad.
Like
sorry, Levi, but you're loved by literally everyone else, so it's fine.
You know, an honorable mention. I really do like Connie's glow up. I
do too.
I like Connie's look.
They really grow into themselves.
Yeah, he's not a cue ball.
It's almost like they were children when
he's
we saw
not
them.
like this little kind of runt of a character that is kind of not annoying, but you could tell he's just like can't really take him too serious. But then he grows up,
Yeah.
So I like it.
And then he actually grows up.
Yeah. All right. So
what does the internet say?
The internet. All right. So reading what AI overview says, it says in Attack on Titan, several characters are frequently cited for their attractiveness, both in universe and by fans.
Side note: Tish says depressed Connie was a little enticing. Yeah.
All right. So it says these characters are frequently brought up in discussions about attractive characters. Here's a breakdown of some of the most frequently cited attractive characters. Here are the female characters. I don't know if this is in any particular order. I don't think it is, much like
it's
Bobby's.
Basically just they've been talked about as attractive.
So the first character has Mikasa. Her beauty is noted in universe, and she's often described as having a striking appearance.
She's very pretty.
Next would be Annie, considered one of the most beautiful women in the series with flawless features. Interesting. Wow.
Nice.
Then we have Historia, often mentioned as beautiful with her kindness and gentle nature adding to her appeal.
Not into blonde, sorry.
And then we have Sasha. While not always the first choice, she is often described as having a natural and endearing beauty.
Yeah.
And then, again, the one that I feel like a lot of people would go ahead and have in their list is next is Peak. Her unique appearance and personality makes her an attractive character for some fans. Interesting.
I feel bad for not having Peak up there, but sorry, girl.
And then so we have now the male characters. And
it's got to be like Levi, Aaron, John, Armin, Rhina.
4 out of 5.
Okay. 4 out of 5.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we have,
one of those people aren't hot enough.
So we have Levi, known for his sharp features, stoic demeanor, and cleanliness. Levi is a fan favorite.
Of course.
Then we have Aaron, while his character arc.
Man.
Yeah. The most clean character.
Yeah, the most clean man, one might say.
Yeah. So again, Aaron, while his character arc takes a dark turn, he's often cited for his attractiveness, particularly in later seasons. Then we have Rhina. Described as handsome and strong, he's a popular choice, especially post-time skip.
Yeah, a lot of people ended up really liking him post-time skip. I saw a lot of thirst traps made of him.
And we have Irvin, excuse me.
Oh, Irvin, of course.
His commanding presence and leadership skills are often cited as an attractive quality.
And he's voiced by Michael J. Tatum.
Yeah.
So that helps too.
Yeah. And then finally, Jean. His character development and evolving hairstyle makes him attractive to some fans. Interesting. All right. So that would be what AI Overview has for us, and
their voices do help. Matthew Mercer.
Yeah, for sure.
It helps a little bit.
But again, I appreciate the responses that we that we've gotten. It was a fun little Q&A to go ahead and throw out there to our friends, and was just interested to see what list we were going to get. And so thank you, Jacob. Thank you, Bobby.
Thank you guys for your responses.
And Tish, thank you so much in chat for letting us know.
Our Instagram is the same as everything else, the Attack on Talk podcast.
Yeah,
and we post it on our stories we usually ask Q&As around like Mondays. So check it out.
Yeah.
Also, Bobby says Bertolt's Titan homie is caked up. Says homie is caked up in the POV of him kicking the wall.
Seriously.
Shout out to the camera guy.
I feel like they did not need to do that. You know, I understand.
They were like, oh, there's glute muscle. They don't look like bubbles though, dude.
Yeah, I know for sure. Jacob goes, I'll go by Big Connie because I'm big and bald. All right.
Big Connie.
Big Connie. When Bobby acknowledged Tish's comment about the depressed Connie, Tish goes, the I can fix them came out. Bobby, don't judge me.
Don't judge me. I can fix it.
Yeah, strong eyebrows. Awesome.
Like, oh, poor baby boy.
Great job as always, guys. All right. So now let's talk some food. Sound good?
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's do it. Because this is where I want us to really get into some conversations, because again, as I stated, this list is going to be a little controversial to some, maybe to most, but this was again a top 10 list that really let me go ahead and find exactly what it says as far as explaining,
and we get to know the worst 3 apparently according to them.
Yeah.
Because I do want to hear your guys' hot takes, like we said before. I want to hear your guys' hot takes on your opinion of certain fries.
Yeah.
Let your inner potato girl come out, okay? Because then there's a whole discussion of, crinkle cut. It tastes better when it's crinkle cut, but not all crinkle cuts taste like others. Someone earlier mentioned something about like those string fries, and as long as they're like seasoned well, which helps.
All right, so here we go. I found this list. This came out as 5 days ago.
Okay.
It says, I added a 0 when I mentioned earlier about Yelp reviews. So this is based on over 40,000 Yelp reviews.
Oh, okay. 40,000.
So this was a study that was recently made, and again, it was chosen to find out America's favorite fast food fries.
Okay.
All right.
So what does the U.S. enjoy?
So here we go.
Because Tish already has a hot take. I wonder if it's on there. She has a hot take about Popeye's fries.
All right. So, okay. We can go ahead and put a bookmark on that.
Okay.
But should we go from top 10, as in 10 to 1?
Yeah, let's go bottom up.
Okay. All right. So coming in at... Make sure I got the list right.
Or should we talk about the worst ones first?
We could do that.
Yeah, let's talk about the worst ones first, and then we'll go 10 up.
Okay. So we have the 3 worst fries according to the study, and
according to these 40,000 Americans.
Yeah. So the worst fast food fries are Burger King.
Really?
Yeah.
I like their fries.
So already controversial, I see.
Uh-oh. I like their fries. I mean, I don't think they're the best fries at all, but they're not horrible.
Get the job done?
Yeah, they get the job done. Honestly, I kind of just smother them in salt. So everything just tastes like, all fries taste like salt to me.
That's what part of the discussion here is about, the flavor, about the seasonings, about the salt factor and everything and stuff, okay? But when it comes to
You do have to
Burger
do a little
King,
bit of seasoning on your own.
So Burger King is considered among the worst in the study. After that is KFC.
Okay, I agree. Now, I don't like KFC fries.
KFC's fries they have been criticized for being bland and lacking crispiness.
Yeah.
Okay.
They're usually a little soggy.
Yeah. Tish goes, the Burger King here sucks. I just get the fried chicken. For me, if I'm going to Burger King, I'm getting the chicken fries.
Yeah.
You know,
that's the only reason why I really do get the fries is because I go to the Burger King all the time with the app, and then you get. It used to be $4 for chicken fries and a large fry. Now it's $7 for a chicken fry and a large fry.
Fries aren't even worth it.
But it is cheaper and it's fine.
Yeah. And then Jacob goes number 1, Chick-fil-A waffle fries. Number 2, Wendy's.
Really?
Number 3, Hardee's. So Hardee's is also Carl's Jr. for us.
Yeah.
And
Carl's
he
Jr.
says
in the West
specifically
Coast.
their curly fries. Okay, I like it. And then
okay.
Tish goes, agreed. KFC fries are like biting straight boiled potato.
Yeah, it's not the best.
Really, what they are is they're not really fries, as they are kind of like wedges. You know, but still. People don't go ahead and fuck with them, really.
They're usually a little soggy.
Yeah, and then the other on this list, as far as the ones that weren't very good, Church's Chicken. Now, I can't say, because I've never been to Church's Chicken.
I've never been to Church's, yeah.
And it says, like KFC, Church's Chicken's fries have been mentioned in many negative reviews, with customers citing sogginess and just lack of flavor.
Now I know, if I go to Church's, don't... Yeah.
And the big knock on Burger King is they have faced criticism for its fries because of how inconsistent they are.
Okay, I'll agree.
Yeah.
Can't expect gourmet. It's Burger King.
All right.
Wow, those are the 3 worst. Okay.
Yeah, so
you know what?
Any
That's
Corey,
okay.
anything?
I would have replaced... Sorry, Jacob, but I would have replaced... Burger King with Wendy's. Not a fan of Wendy's fries.
Okay.
But that's just me.
All right. So now we have... Okay. Yeah, we have 10 here.
Okay. So starting from 10, going up to 1.
We did a bookmark here over in chat where Tish's hot take, right? About Popeye's fries. They're not all that.
Yeah.
They did make the list, and they're here at number 10.
Okay, so
Popeye's
you're kind of
10.
That's kind of the exact. That's basically what you said, Tish. They're not all that, but they're there.
Their Cajun seasoned fries are a bold choice, offering just a different flavor profile.
Okay.
Because these takes are wild and great.
How are they wild? I feel like they're valid. Maybe my Burger
As
King
you can clearly see, we are a bunch of fries enthusiasts here.
I love
our fries.
getting my fast food fries and smothering them in salt while I still have metabolism. That's why I go on runs, Bobby, so I can smother my my Burger King fries in salt.
Okay. So now number 9, and Jacob mentioned them, and we have Chick-fil-A. Number 9 is
Chick-fil-A is only number 9?
Their waffle fries are a popular choice, often praised for their texture.
I would have put them higher.
Okay.
Wow. Okay.
Is Chick-fil-A a top 5 fry, in your opinion?
I feel like Chick-fil-A is like at least number 5.
Okay.
Their waffle fries are just like the perfect amount of crisp and fry. I feel like it's good. Of course, you get the few that's like, this is the edge of the potato. You know? Yeah. You get a few, it's like, this is the crisp. Yeah. Whatever.
Obviously, Chick-fil-A's got... incredible sauce flavors to choose from. So that definitely does add an element to me as far as what I'm looking for in a fry. If it has, good dipping sauces, then I'm all for it.
That's true.
Chick-fil-A's got obviously the Chick-fil-A sauce, which is great.
Chick-fil-A's got the sauce.
I myself personally, I really like the Polynesian sauce that they got there.
Yeah.
There's other sauces that they have. So that goes, I think, a long way in terms of maybe determining as far as the top 10 list. Doesn't say so over in this, but yeah, I mean, just like what they describe Popeyes for their different seasoning and flavors, same thing with Chick-fil-A, I feel like.
Okay, yeah.
Tish says, I don't want my fries to be battered, please. Just give me a fry, not fish. And then Tish goes, another hot take, the waffle fries are a lot too. It's a textural thing.
Oh, it's a lot to bite. Okay. The waffle fries are a lot to bite. It's a textural thing. Oh, really? I like the texture of a waffle fry. That's why I prefer
and you're
a
a texture person, too.
I'm very much a sensory texture person. And I like when my fries, have... Like, I like waffle fries. I like the texture of the waffle fry. I personally think that the best fry is a good crinkle cut fry. It just makes it taste better. That's just me. But... Because a lot of the fries that we've all been getting have been... pretty straight cut. None of them have texture to them yet. Yeah. Except for these waffle fries.
Yeah.
Got it.
All right. So that would be Chick-fil-A number 9. So at 8.
Which means the textured cut's got to be higher up there. That means that my opinion is just fact, right? That's what that
We'll see. We'll see if we can confirm that fact or not. But at number 8, we have Arby's. It says Arby's.
Their curly fries?
Known for their curly fries,
Yeah,
which
their curly
offer
fries aren't
a
bad.
unique peppery flavor.
Hot take. I know everyone fucking hates Arby's. I love Arby's, okay? We are Arby's lovers here, all right? We do have the meats,
I feel like with Arby's, you have to really simplify it. You can't go and
you
get
just gotta
the kind
get
of crazy
a
menu
basic
item.
roast beef sandwich with no
Classic
cheese on
roast
it.
beef. The cheese, some people like it, but the cheese is really just like a cheese sauce, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And I don't know. But for me,
And their curly fries are good.
I'm a classic roast beef.
Yes.
I like the curly fries. And you know what? Arby's has some good appetizers. The jalapeno poppers.
And they have
they're
the little
good.
mozzarella.
Chicken.
Chicken.
Oh my
Yeah,
gosh.
and
The
mozzarella.
mozzarella sticks. It's so good. You know, Arby's they get a bad rap. They're like you know what?
They're like the meme.
They're like the Nickelback.
Yeah.
You know, of fast foods, but they're going to have their time.
But sometimes
You know?
it's good.
Yeah.
I get that it's like a joke, but Arby's, it's not bad.
Yeah.
Tish said, never had Arby's, booking a trip to the U.S. for Arby's. Okay, don't book. It's not worth booking a trip for, okay?
If you happen to be,
but
you know,
I don't think it
over in
deserves all the
US,
hate it gets.
You know, yeah, just go ahead and try Arby's, but again, just simplify it. Classic roast
get
beef.
a classic,
and don't
maybe
do
a
one
double.
of those. Don't do like what I did when I was traveling for work. I made the mistake of looking at the menu. I was out over in, I want to say somewhere in Ohio, and the menu had Arby's classic roast beef, but you can go ahead and double the meat, which I did. I was like, oh yeah, sounds good. And what they did was they just gave me a thick cut of roast beef, and it just, we talked about texture. It's just different when you're taking a bite and you can really just have to like
you could feel the
bite
meat.
through
Yeah.
the roast beef. I like it when it's those thin slices. Like
Me
if it was
too.
just more layers
Just
of the
the
thin slice,
textured thin slices.
that would be great. But
That's
yeah.
weird because I've when I've ordered a double classic, it's just been more of the thin cut roast.
Okay, it must just be something that maybe that they
Maybe
did
it was
over at
just
that
like
time.
it's
I don't
the
know.
double meat or whatever.
Yeah, I don't know. We have deloading. What's up, deloading? It says
What's up?
AJ Lex and special guest Chopper. That is right. Chopper
course.
is here. Chopper is just relaxing and hanging out with us, taking the spotlight of Zach's presence here. And as you can see, Zach, Zach.
Tish said, "Ew, meat patty." That's what a patty is, Tish. It's a meat.
Yeah.
But I guess it's more gross when it's like, ew, roast beef. Patty.
Jacob says Arby's is goated. Love the chicken sandwich and fries. Okay, I
Never
haven't
had the
tried their
chicken
chicken sandwich. I believe
See,
you, but I
People
think
don't
that,
actually hate Arby's. It's all a marketing scheme.
I think that just proves right there too. When it comes to just Arby order, simplify it. Like that is a chicken sandwich. Like that's pretty
just keep it simple.
You know, you don't have to go ahead and do like the Reuben or doing, because it's like I don't know. I feel like when people go ahead and go a little out of the norm as far as just some of the order options there. Like
I think Cane's figured it out when they were like, we're just serving chicken.
Yeah.
Like that's what we do. We have chicken, bread, coleslaw, fries. That's what we got.
Yeah, exactly.
So Arby's, I think you can live to just simplify it a bit more.
Yeah.
Do what you're good at.
But yeah, definitely try Arby's, Tish. But again, here a warning. Simplify, please. I don't want you coming after us when you.
You could add like sauce and stuff, but don't like.
Arby's sauce is good. Okay,
Yeah.
Arby's sauce is good. I myself like to go ahead and just put a solid coat, nothing too crazy.
I don't put
Maybe
anything.
just one Arby packet. But some people like to lather up, their roast beef sandwich with Arby sauce. I know, Dad likes to go ahead and use a lot of Arby sauce. So Arby sauce is good.
Yeah, just depends on if you like it more dry or more, depends on how you like your roast beef.
Yeah. But yeah, so don't come after us if you don't like Arby's.
I know. Sorry if you don't like it. We're just simple Americans.
All right. Now, number 7 is where we're at. And this is where I think things are going to get very
We're
controversial.
gonna get heated.
Number 7 is deloading goes, if it ain't dripping, it ain't enough.
Oh God, that's how I am with my ketchup.
There's some people that are like that. Again,
I'm like that with my ketchup.
I know
on
Dad
burgers.
likes to go ahead and have the Arby's sauce essentially dripping from the sandwich.
Yeah, my ketchup in my burgers has to be dripping all over my hands.
Okay.
Otherwise, it's not enough.
So number 7, controversial here. We have McDonald's
Okay.
So McDonald's says
I've heard a lot of people say they don't like it.
Their classic shoestring fries are a nostalgic favorite, but freshness is key to their quality. So I think that's what it is the freshness of it. A fresh McDonald's fry is good.
It is nice.
But when the fries are, maybe hanging out there for 5 minutes or longer, that's when it can kind of get a little,
it starts to taste like cardboard, like some people say.
Yeah. So McDonald's, I mean, what do we think about McDonald's as far as number 7? Do we agree? Do we think that it deserves to be higher? I myself, I do like McDonald's fries. I would have that in my personal top 5.
I don't think I like McDonald's fries. Like recently, when I've been getting for the past couple good amount of months actually, when I the times that I have gone to McDonald's, I haven't ordered fries.
Really?
I've just gotten 2 burgers.
Okay.
I haven't gotten any fries. I'm by the time I finally eat them, they just aren't good if you're not eating them immediately.
Yeah, like this article says, the freshness factor is really what makes a difference.
That
and then
really
even
does make a
Tish says McDonald's fries are only good. Oh, excuse me. Tish says Mickey D's is good for a solid 2 minutes. Same with Wendy's. Jacob goes McDonald's fries are only good hot or warm. And Tish goes one thing they get right, the salt.
Yes, they do get the salt right because, sorry, I'm a salty girl, love a lot of salt. And they do be putting a lot of salt on those things. They're good. I'm a salty girl.
Yeah, I definitely do like, salty is like that savory factor, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Especially when it's fresh because it actually is soft in the middle and crispy on the, has a nice crisp on the outside.
Yeah.
But if they're not fresh, then they're just not good.
Tish, I like tasting the hypertension.
I need to hear how tense they are. I mean, I taste how tense they are.
Are you ready to continue on with the list here?
Yeah, let's go to number 6.
Number 6, Wendy's.
Ooh.
Their thicker cut fries are a classic.
I'm not a fan of Wendy's fries.
Good balance of crispiness and that potato flavor.
Maybe it's just the Wendy's over here, but the Wendy's that I have had, I have not been a fan of their fries. They've been kind of like, who are the fries that we were saying were kind of soggy? Oh, KFC. They're kind of like KFC fries.
Okay.
Not as, actually no, they are kind of thick too, but not a fan of Wendy's fries.
You haven't just had I don't know how often we go to Wendy's either. Growing up, we never really did. And then, just for me, I never really did go to Wendy's.
Yeah, same.
When you go ahead and you get done with the basketball game or whatever and stuff, and there's a Wendy's nearby, and you just go over there
I'm just hungry.
The Baconator or something, all that, and
let me get the Dave's double.
Pretty good, but nothing really special stood out, in my opinion, with Wendy's.
The thinnest, soggiest lettuce that you could possibly put on it. Thank you. I worked. Tish says, there's lore here.
Okay.
I worked at Wendy's for a bit. They have dump it policy. If it's not sold in 5 minutes, they need to dump it.
Wow.
They have a fast and fresh policy.
Wow, I like that.
Wow,
and,
why are your fries kind of soggy then? Maybe our Wendy's doesn't do that. Jacob says Dave's triple baby.
There you go. There is that nice. I do like that fresh policy.
I like that. Maybe I just always get mine right before the 5 minute mark.
Maybe. You get them on the brink of...
maybe I get mine on the brink of getting dumped.
Brink of the dumpster.
Maybe that's what it is. I just haven't had a fresh Wendy's fry, maybe. But I haven't been a fan. Like I said, I would swap out Wendy's and Burger King. But I also probably would not put it that high up. Surprised that it's above McDonald's and Chick-fil-A.
Yeah.
Weird.
Just a spicy chicken with home-style cheese.
Home-style cheese.
Top 5. Ready for top 5 here?
Yeah.
All right.
What's the fifth
top
one?
5. I'm going to need your guys' help for this top 5 because some of these I'm not too familiar with. And
thankfully,
if you've
you guys
tried
are from all over the world.
Let us know. But I think I may have had this once in my life. And so number 5 is Checkers, that's what they're known over in the East Coast. But to us here in the West Coast, it's known as Rallies.
Rallies, yeah.
And it says their seasoned crinkle cut fries are a standout, often described as crispy and flavorful.
Dang, I don't think I've ever been to Rallies.
Checkers or Rallies?
Yeah.
Jacob goes with Wendy's, love dipping the fries in Frosties. I know that's another
that's really popular with their Wendy's fries.
Fries enthusiast for sure. But yeah, again, I can't.
Jacob said Rallies is good.
Rallies is goated. Okay. All right. I believe you, man.
I believe you. I mean, it's number 5.
Yeah.
I personally haven't had it, so I can't pass a judgment on it.
Checkers used to smack. Interesting. Why doesn't it smack anymore?
Used to smack.
Hey, what's up, baby? We got the beautiful
Hi, Ronnie.
Ronnie's in chat. Checkers is bomb, but you gotta dodge bullets to get it. Oh shit.
If you really want those fries, you gotta risk something for it.
Baby, is Checkers that so Checkers
That worth it?
is East Coast stuff like you had it while you were out over in Jersey? Because I don't even know where there's a Rallies by us. I don't even know.
Like Cyprus.
Yeah. But what
it's like there's got to be one that's like
what changed,
cities
Tish,
away.
in your opinion, with Checkers? Ronnie said Checkers is like a thicker Wendy's fry, but Cajun. Ooh, I like that.
Yeah, it seems like they're really seasoned.
Tish said I used to have them when visiting New York, New Jersey. All right. Let me go see where there is a nearest Rallies.
Yeah, I feel like I've seen one.
I mean, nearest one's 5 miles away.
That's not that bad.
No. But then in between that, essentially, we got like 5 miles increment. So like for every 5 miles, there's a Rallies.
Yeah, there's another. Yeah. Every 5 miles, there's a Rallies.
Yeah. And Jacob goes, Checkers and Rallies are the same thing.
Yeah, they are.
Yep. So for me,
Same
again,
thing as Hardee's and Carl's Jr.
I can't bring anything to this conversation when it comes to Checkers or Rallies.
Yeah, people seem to like them.
Please no, I will fight if Carl's Jr. is on here.
Oh, is on here.
Shit.
Oh God.
I'll be ready to go ahead and fight. You ready?
Uh-oh.
Should we go to number 4?
Yeah, what's number 4?
Number 4. Tish, you ready? Is Bojangles?
What is Bojangles?
I've never had Bojangles. I don't know what Bojangles is.
I don't know what that is, but it sounds good.
Yeah, Bojangles. They offer a unique seasoned fry, often praised for its flavor. Wow.
Okay. Let me look up Bojangles.
Ronnie goes, justice for Chick-fil-A waffle fries. They gave better flavor and texture than 75% on this list. Yeah. Jacob goes, I'm fighting you. I'm Carl's Senior.
I'm Carl's Senior. It's crazy.
Chick-fil-A, yeah, we talked about Chick-fil-A, and
the
Chick-fil-A has a nice.
The nearest Bojangles to us is in Vegas.
Okay. So yeah, definitely not too close.
Yeah.
Can you look up what their fry looks like?
Never been one in California.
Just look up Bojangles fries.
Yeah.
Okay, baby. When talking about Chick-fil-A waffle fries, what obviously is the big element of those fries is oh wow.
They look quite seasoned.
The big element of those fries, of course, is the dipping sauces.
Mm-hmm. That's why I feel like Chick-fil-A should be a little higher. But I mean, I guess if we're just judging based off the raw fry flavor, then yeah, when they're fresh.
All right. Do you want to go ahead and put that in front of my camera? Mm-hmm. Just so that our friends can go and see. Has anybody tried Bojangles here? So this is what we got here.
Walk you off with my body.
Yeah, just do what you gotta do.
These are.
Get in there close so that we can see the seasoned, every little seasoned speckle there. Bobby says, nope. Yeah, have not tried Bojangles. But it's top 5 fry over on this list. Just goes, it looks really thick. Yeah. It's fine. Let me see if I can go ahead and use that.
We almost had it.
Well, Lexi goes out there and figures that out for me. Looks goated. Yeah, the fry does look really good. It's a nice thick cut fry, right? I picture a nice crisp outer layer with that soft kind of like not baked potato type, but just that you're looking for that nice crispy layer, soft in the good side, or soft in the middle, like a cookie, like a good cookie has a nice crisp factor to it, right? Like I really do. Yeah, go ahead and you can zoom out
and then there you go, clear it out, and then you can zoom back in. That's usually what I do. I just zoom out, and so.
Is that good?
Yeah, that's good. Thank you. But yeah, it looks really.
So this one's
tasty.
number 4.
It looks flavorful. For
yeah,
sure.
it does.
Like, you ever go to a place and, like, let's say you go to like a diner, like drive through, and you're just like, hey, can I go ahead and get some fries? Can I get them seasoned? And they put the fries in like a bag.
Yeah.
You know? And then when you look at it, maybe there's some sprinkle of little season, you know, specks over on the top fries and this and that. But then all the seasoning is kind of just all just in the actual bag, right?
Yeah.
In the bottom of the bag.
Yeah.
That looked like a nice even coat of seasoning.
No, I mean, given those were professional photos, but if that's how they all look, then nice.
It just says it looks like it has a lot of like
herbiness.
And
I like that.
I like it too. The bottom of the bag is wet. Yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
usually.
definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. You see that grease just kind of collecting over in that
Hey,
bag.
that's where the calories come from, man. That was number 4.
Number 4, Bojangles.
Okay. Gonna have to try Bojangles then. What is number 3?
All right. Number 3 is, again, help me out, friends. It's Freddy's frozen custard and steak burgers.
Freddy Fazbear's?
So, never had that before, but it says their shoestring fries are a popular choice, offering that crispy texture. So,
Freddy's frozen custard and steak burgers.
Yeah. And I don't know whether if there is any by us, but
There is.
Really?
Yeah. Well, not by us, but there's some in California.
Okay.
There's one in Norco, CA, in Fontana.
Okay.
They're just not very close.
You know, you gotta drive out to go, you know, get some Freddy's frozen.
There's one in Pasadena.
Interesting. Okay, can you also look up the fry for me, please?
Yes.
Very, very interesting.
Ooh, they are the little shoestring. These are kind of like a Ruby's Diner type fry. You know?
Oh, okay. It comes in like
In the basket?
little basket tray. You know, if you're dining in, if you're dining out. Okay, interesting.
Yeah. Kind of looks like.
Not bad. So that's got to be maybe like McDonald's on a better level, maybe.
Yeah.
You know,
like they're because they're much longer
style.
shoestring. They look a lot crispier.
Yeah.
They kind of, if you guys have ever had like a Ruby's Diner, I know that not everyone has had that, but out here we have like Ruby's Diner in SoCal, in California. And from the look of it, it looks really similar to these Freddy's steak burger and fry. They also sell Freddy's steak burger and fry seasoning at the store.
Oh, okay.
So again, with the seasoning, like you said.
Yeah.
A lot of we haven't gotten a single crinkle cut yet. The only different shape we've gotten is the thick cut and the waffle fries.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Exactly.
Because I think Del Taco should be up there.
Yeah.
Hello, Tahesh. Welcome back.
What's up, Tahesh?
We're talking about fries. You just made it for the top 3.
Yeah, we did. We're going over a top 10 fast food fry list, and we're going to go ahead and talk about the top 3. Ronnie says, not a fast food fry, but Crunch Burgers fries are so bomb. Crunch Burgers is by us out over here where we're at, and their fries are so good. But
I still haven't had Crunch Burger yet.
I cannot help but feel when you go that burger fry combo, right? That it sits with you, and you just feel that unhealthiness to it.
Yeah, you just
know?
feel fat.
Like it's so flavorful, so tasty. The fries are just like it's honestly, again, a nice balance of that crispiness that you're kind of like looking for, but also have that nice soft texture. At least for me, I like that kind of like soft texture. And they do the seasoning right, man. They do it. They got some good dipping sauces too, and yeah, it's really, really good. I agree, baby, for sure. Jigo goes, the only thing I know about Del Taco is the free Shavakadu meme. You never had Del Taco? You should go and give it a try. I believe Del Taco is actually one of the top fast food chains as far as voting amongst.
They are actually.
Yeah, I think that it is.
Tish, I miss
because
mine
of its
too.
freshness. And
yeah, I think they have really good fries. I think Del Taco deserves to be up there. Me personally, Del Taco's in my top 3.
okay, yeah,
Love me a
Del
good
Taco
crinkle cut.
fries are the crinkle cut fries.
I know
good.
they're meant for tacos, but their fries are so good.
Tish goes, I miss Fine.
Yeah, me
Fine's-
too.
Yeah, that's
Free Shavakadu.
simpler times, huh?
I know.
All right, let's get down to the nitty gritty here. All right, we just covered number 3. Now let's go ahead and let's focus on the top 2
The top
fries. Ronnie says Del Taco's fish battered tacos. Yeah, the battered tacos they got there, the battered fish tacos. She tried them. Mm-hmm. I got the crispy chicken tacos. Yeah, good. I mean, again, it's just
Yeah, I heard their chicken tacos are really good.
it's pretty simple. Essentially, it's like a chicken tender, right, in a taco.
Oh, so it's nice. It's like actually battered and fried.
It's a crispy, just fried chicken.
Oh, that's
type
nice.
Taco they put in like this kind of, they call it the crispy chicken ranch taco, right? Mm-hmm. But the ranch isn't overwhelming at all. It's just nice and subtle.
It's just like seasoning.
You just got the lettuce and cheese.
Because who doesn't like dipping their chicken in ranch?
And you know what? It's good. It's really, really good.
Wow.
And Tash says, last night I watched Sinners after a long time. Decent scary movie. Yeah, Sinners has been
Sinners is really good.
a big topic, and
I've seen it and I love it.
Not seen it yet. Damn.
I'm still like
Gotta get
listening
on
to the
that.
soundtrack.
You still listen to it? Mm-hmm. Yeah, all right. Tash,
good.
I'm glad that you enjoyed it. Me personally, the fact that you described it as a scary movie makes me hesitant because I don't like scary movies.
It's like meant to be a horror movie, but it's just because
it's not bad, right?
It's not bad at all. I would consider it more of like a thriller.
Yeah. 100% when it's out on streaming, me and Ron, you're gonna watch it for sure.
There's like 2 jumps and like that's about it. And it's just the fact that there's gore and it's about vampires. That's pretty much the only reason why it's considered horror.
Okay.
The concept though and the story of it is really cool. I love it.
Tish goes, Bobby, your movie was mentioned. Ronnie says it's not as good as the McDonald's chicken wrap though. Chicken ranch wrap though. I haven't tried that.
I haven't either.
Try that. That sounds pretty refreshing.
It does.
But now here we go.
Top 2.
Number 2, right? The number 2 fry, according to America, is, any guesses?
Cane's.
It's Shake Shack.
Oh.
Shake Shack is known for their crinkle cut fries that are crispy and well seasoned.
What did I say?
There you
Crinkle
go.
cut
Crinkle
just
cut.
makes it taste better.
So Shake Shack is number 2. Again, I don't know if I've had Shake Shack.
I don't think I have either.
I know that it is popular, and I know that if you go ahead and you look at a top 10 burger list, which we're not going to do in this episode because of that, we'll be looking at food.
We'll talk about food forever.
Yeah, but I'm almost certain that there is a Shake Shack burger that's going to be on that list as well. So, I mean, I don't know why. Maybe, I don't know if it's just, maybe it's the pricing, but if the quality is there, then yeah. It just goes because the devil holds flavor.
The divots.
The divots. Shit, the devil.
Yeah, the devil holds flavor.
Yeah, the devil holds flavor. I was
No,
like,
but
there
I
must be
agree.
some sort of lore behind Shake Shack there.
Yeah.
Did they make a deal with the devil, which is why their
No, the
burgers and
divots
their...
in the crinkle cut fry hold
so
better
sorry.
flavor.
That is not what you said.
The devil holds flavor.
I'm going to get to Tahesh's.
we were just talking about horror.
Tahesh said, I still remember when I first saw The Conjuring in 2016. I downloaded it in my old potato PC, and suddenly my CD slot started to open and close. No! It scared the shit out of me. That would scare the shit out of anybody.
Traumatized me.
Watching like anything scary and having like something
Alone on your little screen.
operating or
and then-
moving or whatever when it's not supposed to. That's
Yeah.
not supposed to happen.
And the fact that it was on your PC and it would, dude, the devil was totally holding your flavor.
Yeah. Oh shit, that's crazy. That would have terrified me too. I'm so
shake.
sorry that happened to you, Tash.
I know.
Oh shit.
Jeez.
And I heard The Conjuring is one of the scariest movies too, isn't it? Or no? At that time, right?
I
At that
think
time?
At the time, yeah.
Yeah.
It definitely was.
Because even
There's
I
a
remember
lot of really banned,
I remember
really
it
bad
was-
horror movies now.
I don't remember what year it came out, but I remember I think it was not newly released. Maybe it was like a couple of years out at the time. And Hereditary, and you and your friends were over for just a little movie night, right? Projector out over in the backyard. We got the machine, everything. Decided to put on Hereditary, and my freaking dumbass thinking, you know what? I'll just go and I'll watch it too.
Yeah, it's fine.
That movie had me fucked up a little bit.
Yeah, it's a little scary.
Like Hereditary, I'm sorry, I couldn't. There's times where I literally, like, as things were happening, I'm like, oh fuck no. I was like, no.
We're like outside and we're like, is there something behind me?
Oh my gosh.
Hereditary was kind of good.
It's a good movie, but it's just like if you like scary movies, I think you'll appreciate that and stuff, But I don't know, I just can't. Tesh goes, nowadays horror movies are nothing but just jump scares. You must see a movie named.
I hate movies that are just
bad.
Scared.
Oh, I'm not going to say. What gets me is the element of suspense. Like if they're building up to it, I can't deal with the build up. I get too anxious and stuff like that, and stress. I'm like expecting and waiting for it. And the worst is when they build it up and then nothing happens.
I know, and I'm like, wow, thanks.
And then at that point, you have no trust in the movie whatsoever.
Now I have so much built up adrenaline.
And then they get you with the sudden jump.
Yeah, just a random one. That's like, oh great.
Yeah, Tish says, after scary movies, I put on cartoons. I need to regulate myself. Yeah. I like that. I like that strategy. Y'all clearly haven't watched Hereditary. Like I said, Hereditary fucked me up.
It was pretty good.
The end when it shows that whatever the fuck that thing was floating into like the fucking treehouse or whatever and stuff.
Getting possessed and like the mom's
the way he's over in school
and
just banging the fuck out of his face over on the desk and stuff like that. Jake goes, no movie is scary to me.
Okay.
All right. Let's get back to topic at hand here. Okay.
Right.
Ronnie says, I haven't had a crinkle cut fry since I was 15 because my dad used to make the frozen ones in the oven and they always came out weird. So I hated that.
So you're now
so
like
there's a lore behind the
I play FNAF on the daily. All right. It's different.
There you go. Bobby, the scariest thing I've seen to date, to talk about Hereditary, I had to watch Phineas Ferb to calm down. They're bringing Phineas and Ferb back.
Oh, they are?
Yeah. They're bringing it back.
Original voice actors and everything?
I don't know. Maybe. I know it's been a long time, but I think they can still pull off the
I think
the
they still
voices
can.
and stuff for
Actually,
sure.
Tisdale still sounds like Candace.
Yeah. And I saw there was this theory I saw recently where Phineas and Ferb are related, but only as half brothers, right?
Yeah, they're half brothers.
Right. So there's an episode where they talk about a little bit of the mom and how she knows Dr. Doofenshmirtz, right? Mm-hmm. And this theory is that he is the father to
Phineas?
To Phineas is the one that...
Phineas is the orange triangle.
Yeah, he's the one that has more of the Doofenshmirtz head shape, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that was kind of the theory. And
because Ferb looks a lot like the dad that's in the show. Ferb looks exactly like him. Same head shape and everything. And Phineas just is a triangle-headed ginger. Which his mom is also a ginger, but... If you get your head shape from your dad, then Ferb's all good.
There you go, it's confirmed.
And Phineas.
All right.
A little bit like Doofenshmirtz.
Just goes so Sigma Alpha Omega, Jacob. Yeah. And Jacob goes, W Tish and King of the Hills returning. Yeah, that's right. They're bringing them back and they're going to be older. Ronnie goes, y'all ever seen VHS?
No, I don't think I have. That's supposed to be like a found footage one.
Yeah, what is
found
that?
Footage horror movie.
That'll send you running for the hills, she says. Oh my God, I do not want to see that.
Found footage horror movies are scary because it makes it feel like I'm not supposed to be seeing this. It's so real.
She says, or Megan is missing.
I haven't seen Megan is Missing, but I've heard of it.
Yeah, I'm good.
Tash said, yo, that kind of makes sense about the Phineas and Ferb
Yeah, it's
thing.
something that I saw, yeah. And
they have a passion for inventing, says Tish.
Oh, shit.
Oh,
it's
my
crazy.
God, we just cracked the case.
The dots connect.
Doofenshmirtz is the father.
There you go. Yeah, the episode I think that where they used to kind of really gain some traction is that the mom and Doofenshmirtz,
Would they cross paths?
They know each other.
Oh,
yeah.
Crap.
They know each other. And it showed them when they were younger.
Got some explaining to do.
Yeah, they were younger, and it looked like they were not like being flirty, but they were being very, very kind of like, they were just like hanging out and stuff, And who knows?
Just friendly. They have, maybe they have a history.
Yeah. So,
Tish goes,
said
they dated. Yeah, maybe that's confirmed.
Is that confirmed that they've dated?
Maybe it is confirmed.
Did they have a one-nighter and she's just like, oh, I'm having a kid. Having a triangle-headed baby.
There you go. Tehesh goes 28 years later, releasing today. I don't know. I do know that it's
years
coming
later.
out though, because
I don't know.
There was the 28 days later. Obviously, was the one that was the film. Shit, how long ago was that?
That was a while ago.
Yeah, but now we got 28
years
years later, which is interesting. Yeah. Ronnie goes, I actually just re-looked up VHS and now I just terrified myself.
You're like reliving. This is PTSD,
Baby,
Ronnie.
turn Phineas and Ferb on.
Yeah, turn on Phineas and Ferb.
Turn on Phineas
and start
Ferb.
dissecting about how Doofenshmirtz is the father. Okay.
Yeah. Actually,
feel so much
you know
better.
what Ronnie and I have been watching? Because she hasn't seen it yet, and so we are. I want to say 5 episodes in, maybe going on the 6th episode. Yeah. She's watching the live action One Piece.
Ooh, okay.
So it's growing on her. At first,
Not bad.
you know, it's kind of like, what is this? This is kind of weird. They're kind of goofy, but that's part of the characters. You know, they are goofy, and then now, you know, we're into the swing of things, and now you know she's watching it.
Tish said, "Girl, play a dress-up game.
Where's
start all when you need."
Oh man. Yeah, I just can't with the scary stuff.
Play a dress-up game.
Alrighty, here we go.
So what's number
one?
We've been stalling enough.
This is where the controversy continues.
Do we know? I know number one.
Yes, very much so.
Very much so. Is it In-N-Out?
Number one is In-N-Out Burger.
Really? I've heard so many people say that they don't like In-N-Out fries too.
Me too.
I've
And I
heard
know
so many
that
people
was
say they don't
something
like
that Ronnie had mentioned before. Was that?
Oh yeah, Ronnie has said that
the
too.
fries aren't all that. She goes, I'm sorry. I mean, you guys say that In-N-Out is good, but look, she says the fries aren't all that. The burgers are good, but the fries.
She said it's rigged. This list is rigged. Yeah, where's Del Taco? Where's Cane's? Those crinkle cut fries I think deserve to be on here. So does Tam's when they're seasoned. Those fries should be on here.
Yeah.
I think Wendy's, KFC's already on the bottom. I think Wendy's should go. And call me a hater, but I don't know. As much as I love In-N-Out, I don't know if it deserves to be number one.
I don't think it deserves to be number one either, and I love In-N-Out.
I think
don't
In-N-Out
love it because of the fries.
Yeah, same.
You know,
I like it because of the how customizable it is, friendly, fresh.
Yes, that's where I think that this is maybe a little bit rigged. Like Jacob was saying, Jacob goes rigged. He goes, never had it but rigged, right?
Never had it but rigged.
Ronnie goes, West Coast homies rank the list clearly. I think there is definitely some West Coast
you guys got Hardee's, not Hardee's. What do they say? Checkers.
Yeah, I think that this list it probably is what it is because it's honestly, I think that when people travel over to the West Coast, it's almost like they need to try In-N-Out.
Yeah.
So if this is based off of Yelp reviews,
except for Tish, apparently.
Tish goes, I've been to LA so many times, I've never had In-N-Out. Tish, forget Arby's. You need to have In-N-Out. You need to have In-N-Out, okay?
And if you like a crispier fry, order Fry Well. If you like a lighter fry, like AJ and I do, then Fry Light.
They have a secret menu. You know, it's really cool, yeah. But if you want to just go ahead, just get the In-N-Out experience, just order a double.
Yeah.
Okay? And then just eat the fries as they're given to you. You can be the judge.
You can get it animal style with your burger.
That's exactly where I'm going with this theory that, like, I think this might be a little bit skewed because if we're talking about fries here, I'm thinking of just like the fast food French
given
fry,
to you the way they are,
right? But you can go ahead and get like a whole meal with your fries. Like you could
do cheese fries.
You can do cheese
animal
fries.
Style
you can do
fries.
animal style. I feel like animal style could be like a meal on its own, right?
Yeah, it's like that's like a in between meal snack. That's an appetizer.
Yeah,
right there.
Yeah, Tish goes fry light and well. Are these steaks? You know what's crazy is that that's. You can go ahead and order it like that. That's kind of how specific it can be.
Don't like Five Guys fries. Not a big fan of.
Five Guys comes in a bag again, right? It's just a bag.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Expensive Five Guys.
Back to the
also not a fan of Wingstop fries. Really do not like Wingstop fries.
Wingstop fries are they're not.
It's in the same category as Wendy's, KFC.
I put that in exactly KFC for me. Yeah, it's in that same category. But
But if you want chicken and good fries, I would vote Cane's.
Okay.
I think Cane's got some good fries and some pretty decent
Maybe
chicken.
it's just outside of the top 10. Who knows? I don't know.
I know.
But I know that this is definitely a controversial number one. But again, this comes down to 40,000 Yelp reviews, and I think that this is definitely something that people go out of their way to try.
Yeah.
You know, whenever they're traveling. And Tish, yeah, you need to go ahead and try it. Ronnie said, In-N-Out is growing on me, but there's way better fries out there for sure. I agree. And the texture is off, and it needs a lot of stuff on it to be elevated. Yeah,
that's true.
For me,
you have to customize it.
I put cheese on my fries. I asked for cheese fry light. That's how my order is. And you know, if I just get a classic fry, right? If I just do, just fry light, I'm gonna eat them, of course. But I'm not gonna think to myself like, oh man, like these are number one fries.
Yeah.
You know, the burgers. Okay, the burgers are phenomenal. I
personally really love their fries, but only if they're fry light.
Yeah.
And drenched in salt.
Trish goes, where's the third one? Say, I forget his name. Out of who?
Zach.
Oh shit!
Yeah, Zach is not here.
Zach's out over
traveling.
Europe.
Where's the third one?
Where's the third one? Yeah. Zach.
He's out.
Zach will be back. We think, cannot confirm.
And sorry, Tehesh, I won't be here next week.
Tehesh will not. Lexi will not be here next week. She'll be traveling.
I'll be in the Philippines.
Yeah, and then it'll be me and Zach next week, hopefully. And
or I'll probably be on my layover to the Philippines, honestly, by that time.
Mm-hmm. All right. So. Real quick, we'll get to what you just said right now, baby. When it comes to your comment, that Tesh goes, then I'm not coming.
Then I'm not coming.
All right. Well, we'll see
what
you.
What about AJ?
We'll see you in 2 weeks, Tesh.
I know. See you in 2 weeks, then, Tesh. Sorry.
I'm kidding. No, it's okay, Tesh.
Jacob said L.
Tesh has favorites. It's okay. Lex, you are the favorite.
It's fine.
Right. It's okay. You know what? Nothing wrong with that. All right. I'm just a host,
very good gentleman. I know he's just the host.
So, all right.
I'm kidding. Tehesh said he's kidding.
No, it's okay. I'm just trying to make you feel bad. I'm just kidding. Tish says Wingstop has feathers, and as a Caribbean woman, this concerns me.
Wingstop has feathers? Not my wings, but if yours do, then Jesus Christ.
Then they got to go ahead and just do better plucking.
So you got to take Ronnie to Cane's.
Yeah, so Jacob says I want Raising Cane's, and Ronnie goes, I want to try Raising Cane's. Everyone says it's whack, but it looks so good. What do you say to that?
I think it's good.
Okay, Alexis.
I've worked there for a month,
you did.
And I think it's valid.
Yeah.
Not to work there, but to eat.
The only time I tried it is when you worked there.
Yeah.
I tried it twice.
I worked there. It was like my first job in high school.
Substitute the coleslaw for extra toast.
Yeah.
Right?
And asked for a Bob. Bob stands for butter on both sides of your toast.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So if you like butter on your toast, ask for a Bob.
You could always just ask for, that's what my job was. I would make Bobs, and they don't even give you a spatula. You're just out there, butter, knife, and a grill, and you're just...
Okay.
You're just like flipping them over with your hands. When people order a Bob, you gotta like, hey, flip it over, butter, flip it over.
Wow.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Okay. I also made lemonade, and it was terrifying.
Really?
But it's like an electric, like the things that you use to squeeze.
Yeah. You go ahead, you turn and squeeze.
That thing spins really fast.
You have to hold on to it?
And yeah, you have the half a lemon, and you're given, it's not gonna cut you up, it's plastic, but it's still like, ow. And sometimes, because it grinds down the entire, like all you have is the skin essentially left of the lemon. It grinds that thing down, and sometimes it'll catch it and it'll get stuck. Mm-hmm. And you're encouraged not to have to turn off the machine, grab it, turn it back on. Okay. You're encouraged to just like, as it's going, you just put your finger in there and pick it out. So I would try my best to like make sure it didn't slip off, because it would be so scary. But it's essentially just a bunch of ground up lemons and then sugar water. That's what the lemonade is. Surprise.
I'm just imagining me leaving with a whole new haircut.
Why?
So she says, due to Zach's trip, we will be renaming him to Zacharoni.
Zacharoni.
There you go. Very I like that. Ronnie says, I had Wingstop drunk and it was amazing. I think that whenever you're drunk and whatever the meal is, it always hits. I think it just that's
like
just
I ordered the Bob, by the way.
There you go.
Yeah, you get a Bob haircut. That's what you're talking about, Ronnie.
Oh, okay.
No, Bob, butter on both sides, not a haircut. Can you imagine?
You told me to do that too, and then it was. I had no idea that it was like an acronym for that, and I just thought the toast was good. I just thought it was an extra toast. It's just how the toast was prepared, but yeah, it was good.
Yeah.
We should go ahead and try that for sure.
Replace the coleslaw, because their coleslaw on. And who goes to Cane's for the coleslaw?
I don't know.
Replace the coleslaw with a toast and asked for your toast to be Bob style. And it's free. It's all good. It's great.
Okay. Excellent. Well,
I had a few hot takes about that fry list, but it's fine.
Yeah.
It's not how my list would have looked, but
there you go. I mean,
it's fine, I guess.
that is the top 10 list. We went ahead and we talked about the 3 worst according to the Yelp reviews. Just
which I'm sure there are worse ones.
You don't want to go to Burger King. You don't want to go to KFC or Church's Chicken for fries, obviously. So
yeah,
there we go. Alrighty. Now, I say we go ahead and we cover some AOT stuff. What do you guys think?
Let's do it.
I'm narrating Bobby style too. Fries. There you go, Bobby. Go out there and get the style. Bob. Yeah, it's the toast, man. You want that butter on that toast. The Bob is butter on both sides.
Thought it was specifically made by Bob. No.
Like,
yeah, that was me. I was Bob.
There you go.
Wasn't old enough to work the cash register yet.
Great stuff. Great stuff.
Right. Would you like to recap?
Let's do it. I'm going to recap real quick. See what we got. Last week, we went ahead and we talked about Niccolo. Mm-hmm. Niccolo was making some food over for our friends that we are very, very familiar with. And this is where we talked about it last week. It was love at first bite. Right.
Yeah.
And
he was specifically blushing at Sasha too.
For sure.
Because they made sure to zoom in on Sasha eating and then show him blushing.
Yeah, no doubt. And Sasha and her friends tried seafood for the first time. Well, Sasha tried seafood for the first time, and then
they were like, "Oh, I guess it's good."
They had to take advantage of the moment where they go ahead and try to just pull and grab some lobster and stuff.
It went from like, I don't know if I want to eat this to, wow, I better grab something because Sasha's gonna eat it all.
He's like, "What does this smell?" It's like, "What? Is this edible?"
Yeah, it smells fishy. What the hell?
Yeah, and so they tried seafood, and Sasha loved it. Fish. And Niccolo realized it, and Sasha called him a genius. That's exactly what Niccolo wanted to hear, I guess. No, he was just very appreciative that she appreciated his food.
Yeah,
he takes his food very serious, as we can see him kind of just like
for it.
Whenever he's preparing food, it seems like he's so focused, almost like in a little bit of a mood. He's kind of just like, he's so focused and stuff like that. As a matter of fact,
he's in his zone.
When they were talking about the smell and the look, and he was like, you dumb jerks, if you don't like it, then just don't eat it. But then we started covering the continuous change of personality in Eren Yeager. Eren is now very laser focused. We talked about how Niccolo's focused over on his craft. Well, Eren is very focused on his craft.
Yeah.
Eren is so focused that like
his craft is the world.
He doesn't. It's almost like his mind is focused on just moving ahead now. Right? He's not reflecting on stuff.
He's on a set path, and he's like, well,
he's not trying to go over with and hear alternatives to deal with situations. He's not.
He already knows the path that he's on, and he's like, I'm not
exactly. And there's nothing that at this point you can go ahead and say, do, or change to go ahead and change Eren's mind. And Armin is going on this whole kind of just conversation with him as Eren is just listening maybe, but he's doing some training, and Armin's just talking about how he's like so excited about the progress that they've made as an island, just as this civilization, and stuff, right? And they've been growing so fast, and it's really because of the Marleyan engineers that have helped out, and and they're obviously surprised that they're working together.
The future people came and helped the people stuck in the 1800s.
Exactly, Armin explains that it took time to go ahead and build that relationship, right? That working relationship. And
we're gonna get to it, but especially like it's still in the works because in that meeting, Yelena has like all guns pointed at her.
Yeah, for sure. And we're gonna find out that some time has passed.
Yeah.
Right. Because again, this is 3 years ago when this is happening. We see the characters they still have their younger look. Armin still has his bob.
Yeah, he still has his bob,
his mop top.
Not butter on both sides. An actual bob haircut.
And things were very different at that time.
Him and Mikasa are just always matching haircuts. They're just
what it is.
Besties.
Yeah, for sure. And so Armin's just excited, and he's talking about that working relationship, and he's talking about how just given time, they've been able to go ahead and kind of see the differences. Yeah, do the same thing and just go ahead and zoom out, and then you can zoom back in.
Just expose the fact that I'm eating peanut butter patties.
There you go. Yeah, you got it. So yeah, continuing on. Armin understands. He's like, look, if we just take the time to go ahead and understand, work together, then they're able to go ahead and kind of, be productive with growth and with connecting and understanding each other. And that's something that he sees as maybe a gateway to working with other people outside of the island.
Yeah.
But of course, Eren doesn't see it like that, right? We get a cool little montage of Armin learning as Hanji is very involved with the advancements of technology and seeing how things are made and this and that. And as we described Armin as essentially kind of like in that moment, he is like the new Mobilet.
Yeah, Mobilet / Irvin.
Yeah, I mean,
doing
he's
his thing.
getting his hand in a bunch of different hats and stuff, and Armin obviously is very much involved because he likes the fact that they are growing as, again, an island, as we just described, but also Armin's very smart and he is very strategic, and I think that he was obviously very pivotal in building those connections with, the Marlians and stuff.
Yeah.
The fact that he
They're
wants
like,
to go
someone's
ahead
actually empathetic here.
Yeah.
That wants peace.
Exactly.
Who genuinely wants, passionate about peace.
If you want to have a little bit of a, I guess, using this word, if you want to have like a mascot for the Island of Parody,
Yeah.
Armin is a great
Armin's a pretty
mascot
good
to go
one.
ahead and be.
Yeah.
So it was a cool little montage, but again, Eren just seems to go ahead and disregard the optimism as he just tells and asks
He's like, no.
Armin. He goes, "Did you notice?" He goes, "Have you seen Bertolt's memories?" Mm-hmm. Right. Again, just laser focus on the path ahead, like Lexi mentioned. And Armin quickly responds.
And I noticed rewatching this today,
Okay.
Armin has a little blush on his nose.
Yeah.
He blushes a little bit when he's like, "Do you have any of Bertolt's memories?" And he's
Yeah.
like, yes, but nothing useful.
Yeah. Yeah. That's
Just the fact that I'm in love with Annie.
yeah, definitely.
Also, side note, Bobby says, I might duck in a few, y'all. It's midnight here almost, and Bobby's got errands to run, unfortunately. I'm coming back to catch up later.
No worries, Bobby. We appreciate you
no
joining
worries,
us,
Bobby.
man.
Thanks for letting us know.
We hope that you go
Thanks
ahead and
for
enjoy the rest of
hopping
your
in.
night. Good luck with the errands and stuff. And
Giving us your number one most attractive pick.
There we
go.
yeah. But appreciate it as always, Bobby.
Yeah. Thanks, Bobby.
Okay.
But yeah, so he does have some memories, but they're not the ones that are
Not the
useful
ones that
to
Eren necessarily
Eren.
needs right now. Yeah. And he tells Armin, we're short on time. Zeke has less than 3 years to live. Armin understands that, but should we just, he's hesitant. Should we just really just be following along with Yelena's plan?
Mm-hmm.
Really, this is Zeke's plan, but Yelena's the one who's kind of like helping guide the motion over in the island and stuff. And then Armin he explains, like, do we really have to threaten the world with the rumbling?
Of course.
Right? He goes, is that something that we need to do to protect Eldian people? Like, we're forcing people to live in fear. Mm-hmm. And I just think that we don't need to act like the devils they think that we are. Mm-hmm. Right? He goes, like, before we even use it as an option, he goes, why don't we just try to talk to them? Right?
Mm-hmm.
If we can fix the misconceptions about the island, then threats won't be needed. And again, Eren is just like, what misconceptions? Mm-hmm. And Armin's like, well, the fact that they think that we're scary monsters. And Eren again is like, they think that because we transform into man-eating titans.
Yeah.
Right?
We transform into these monsters that do eat man. Yeah.
Which we learn obviously that Eldians, right, are the ones that have that kind of DNA trait to transform into titans.
Yeah. And given they're not actually going out and just slaughtering people, eating man. But the things that they've seen has been at war with Marley. So they've seen wow, they're horrible, they're monstrous, they're da-da-da-da.
And also too with Marley propaganda, I mean, when they think of the island, they think of monsters, titans, and
you're
stuff,
violent.
Right? And which is kind of ironic because Marleyan soldiers are the ones that are turning people, Eldians, into those monsters.
I know.
I
know. It's like you're the reason. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
But again, Armin wants to talk. Aaron doesn't. He wants to go ahead and instill fear. He wants to go and threaten the world
Like,
with
now's the
their
chance
abilities.
for us to show them
How strong they are.
how strong we are. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's not going to be another time. And he knows it, too.
Yeah.
He's like, I know there's not going to
Aaron
be another
has
time to
seen
show
it.
strength.
Yeah. And
But he can't tell him that. I've seen all the memories. I know
Exactly.
how it works.
And then Mikasa joins in and tells Aaron, like, but I mean, there are still some Marleyans that like us. And Aaron turns and he goes like, well, how many? He's like, most of the Marleyans we caught, they still glare at us from their prison cells.
Yeah.
Right?
Like the ones that are working with us, we captured them.
Yeah.
Like they weren't chosen. They didn't choose to be here except for maybe Yelena and Onya Capone. And they're only here because of Zeke,
Yeah.
essentially.
And then Mikasa and Armin, they just tell Aaron to try to reason with them, saying that we just need time. Give it
Yeah.
enough time.
You can tell that
then we can
Mikasa
understand.
and Armin have talked about like, okay, we're just going to talk to Aaron and we'll say this. You can tell they've talked about it together
Yeah.
before they went to talk about it with Aaron, but they
Yeah.
didn't expect it to be a complete shutout. Like they're like, we thought there was going to be more of a discussion here.
Yeah.
But you're not the Aaron that we would have discussions with. Like now he's like, no, we need to show them our strength now.
Yeah.
No, we have to do this now. No, we can't talk to them. Yes, we are devils and blah, blah, blah. Well, also he knows that he has to push them away at the same time. So I guess he's being a jerk for a reason.
Yeah, we find that out very much later on. But yeah, Aaron, he kind of agrees with the timing aspect, at least to a certain degree, as he talks about. He goes, "That's right. We need time. We need to buy time." He goes, "We need to buy time, right? We need to go ahead and show the world our strength, right?" He goes, real quick. He talks about how they need to go ahead and buy time, and then again we are reminded about the events that took place out over in Liberia, specifically out over in the aircraft, as we see again Sasha being shot by a bullet that pierces her chest, and and then we see the moments again unfold about Armin and Mikasa grieving over her dying body, and then Armin tells us as we get close to that part of the episode where he goes, Armin still doesn't know if they made the right choice. Right? He says he just can't help but wonder if there was just some other path that they could have taken if they just seen it. And he said he used to think he understood Aaron more than anybody, even more than Mikasa. But now he just doesn't know. That's where we're just losing that element of humanity from humanity's last hope. We're just losing that element, and again,
I know he used to be the key for humanity. Now look at him.
it's like you said, he's just now on just a straight forward, narrow path.
He's on that fixed path and he's just
There's no room for anybody else.
beeline. Yeah.
So pretty crazy.
Poor guy.
But now at this time, we're going to go ahead and get into this episode. This is season 4, episode 9. This will be the final part 4 of our breakdown discussion. This episode again is named Brave Volunteers. Lexi will be our narrator, and Zach, you're missing out on an episode, man.
You're giving AJ a lot of lines today.
A Zach episode right here. Zach voices Jean, Connie, Niccolo. They're all very much a part of this episode. A lot of Zach lines, so I will do the best that I can to go ahead and fill that void, man. And I think I am ready.
All right. We continue the episode at a graveyard. We see a sorrowful We see a sorrowful Mikasa balled up in a fetal position, mourning the loss of her friend. We get a closer look at one specific gravesite, Sasha's, as we notice different flowers placed as well as letters. A mournful Mikasa hears the yelling of a garrison soldier off in the distance.
Hey! Aren't you a Marleyan? What the hell are you doing? This is a gravesite full of people your kind killed. You have no right.
Suddenly, Connie and Jean runs to the defense of the Marleyan as Jean tells the soldier.
Hey, let us take care of this.
Jean grabs a hold of the soldier's jacket.
I'm sorry, but please.
The garrison soldier releases himself from Jean's grip and then says as he walks away,
Marleyans can go to hell.
Jean helps the man up.
Hey, Niccolo.
And then Connie asks,
You okay?
A tearful Niccolo expresses,
No. Why? Damn it.
Niccolo faces them both as he asks,
Is it true that Sasha was killed?
All Connie and Jean can do is stare with a look of hurt.
So it is. Then why? What the hell were you guys doing?
Connie and Jean feel the guilt as they now show Niccolo to her gravesite. They explain to Niccolo, as Niccolo reiterates.
Shot by a kid who snuck onto the airship? It's too ridiculous to be true.
Mikasa explains this kid to Niccolo. It wasn't an ordinary kid. The girl had been trained. Niccolo responds.
Sounds like a warrior candidate.
Jean, feeling guilty and responsible, tells Niccolo.
Should have kept my guard up. I'm sorry.
Niccolo, staring at Sasha's grave, responds.
Why apologize to me? All I did was cook for her a meal or two.
Connie places his hand on Niccolo's shoulder and tells him.
Thank you. Thank you for every tasty meal you made for her, Niccolo.
A numb-looking Niccolo asks Connie.
How are you taking it, Connie?
A solemn Connie answers.
Sasha and I were like twins. So it feels like half of me is just gone.
The group hears footsteps as they turn to look, and Jean tells the group.
It's her family.
Sasha's father, accompanied by his wife and a young blonde girl, removes his hat in respect and asks the group.
Yo, we're friends with my daughter, Sasha.
Sasha's mother and the young girl, Kaya, begin crying upon seeing Sasha's gravestone. Niccolo watches Sasha's family paying their respects, but Niccolo feels the need to interrupt.
Pardon.
Sasha's father turns to look at Niccolo.
I'm just a captive Marleyan. But I have permission to work as a chef. Your daughter loved my cooking more than anyone else ever will. I think. So, if you ever want to, please come and let me cook you something.
Sasha's father looks Niccolo in the eye and then stretches out his hand for a handshake, and Sasha's father then asks,
This would be on the house, right?
Niccolo confirming and reassures as he shakes Mr. Bross's hand.
Of course.
All right.
Seeing her grave, like she's already mourned, not mourned, but she's already buried.
Yeah, she's been.
And it's with all of the other victims that also died during that time, right?
I was wrong in saying that last week that this episode, which we will be covering, would start off with Sasha's funeral, but they already had the funeral.
Yeah.
It seems like it had to be very.
It's already done, it seems.
She is among a lot of.
It seems like it was just like a broad. It seems like they would have just done like mourning of all the fallen soldiers, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Not like an individual, just like all fallen soldiers. They're all getting buried. It's a lot of people that they lost. I mean, not a lot. Let me take that back. Not a lot, but
she's among a lot of many graves.
Yeah.
For sure. To go ahead and it's like, it just reminds us about all the scouts and soldiers that they've lost. But I think
she was a great scout.
What you were saying is that they didn't lose a lot of people, right?
Yeah, they didn't lose a lot, but there are a lot of graves, but they didn't lose a lot. But I feel like they just did a broad, like, for our fallen soldiers, the fallen 10 that died or whatever. Yeah. And they'd be like, do their thing, and now they can come and visit whenever they want to mourn, which is what they're doing now. Yeah. Unfortunately, Niccolo, people not understanding that, like, you're a Marleyan, and obviously Marleyans and Eldians feel a certain way about each other.
Yeah.
They don't go along well. So seeing Niccolo there at the grave and then
paying his respects.
Yeah, trying to pay his respects. But again, him being a Marleyan is like, you're not welcome here. That guy that was like,
we see this.
This is full of graves of people that your people killed.
We see that he is a garrison soldier, and again, this takes place actually not 3 years ago because they're mourning Sasha now. So I know that in past episodes we've described the military branches as just one branch now, but this gentleman, I use that word loosely, but this
dude,
older soldier, is wearing a garrison soldier jacket.
Yeah, it seems like he's not really done with.
Maybe he hasn't moved on with the times.
Yeah,
dude,
you got to move on.
In the past.
You got to move on, man. You are the island of Eldia now.
Yeah.
You're an Eldian.
This goes to show exactly what maybe Aaron was talking about, as far as still having that disdain for each other, where
like you mentioned, Niccolo is just a Marleyan, right? He shouldn't really. He has no business being out over in an Eldian graveyard.
Yeah,
right?
paying respects to Eldians, because those Eldians died from his people.
Yeah, which is why exactly that's what this old soldier goes on to say, you know, and he say like, hey, what are you doing here? What the hell? Like this is full of people that your kind killed. You have no right being here. And then even as, you know, Jean and Connie try to intervene to go ahead and calm things, you know, as they understand what, you know, Niccolo meant, or I should say what Sasha meant to Niccolo.
Yeah.
And this is why they're trying to go ahead and bring peace to this whole thing so that they can allow Niccolo to grieve without anybody kind of, you know, just giving him a difficult time because of who he is in terms of, you know, where he's from.
Yeah.
And this is,
I feel for Niccolo.
it's difficult because Niccolo still cannot believe it.
And I agree, you know, it was all fine until we were on our way back and she died on the way because a soldier snuck onto the airship. I am surprised that, so obviously after describing it, Niccolo then was like, sounds like a warrior candidate. I'm surprised he didn't ask who or for a description.
Yeah, I know.
But I guess it was just, you know, then Sasha's
That's
family.
a great point. They didn't talk about it was a girl.
Yeah.
They didn't say, they just said it was a kid, right?
Yeah, a kid snuck up on board.
Yeah,
and for
shot
all
by
we
a
know,
kid. And then even Mikasa's like, this wasn't an ordinary kid. Well, actually, Mika says the girl had been trained.
Oh, you're
So
right.
there's only
She said
two
the girl.
girls.
Yeah, so it could have been either
It could have been either Sophia or Gabi.
or Gabi, because he doesn't know that Sophia he doesn't know for sure, but he can figure out. But I don't think he knows for sure that like Sophia's dead.
No, he wasn't there, so I don't think he has any idea as far as the devastation that took place out over in Liberia. But I mean, for all we know, maybe there could have been other candidates, maybe, but these were just the main ones that we were kind of like, you know.
Yeah,
just
because we don't
shown.
know when the last time he actually saw all the candidates were.
Yeah.
So it seems like he doesn't know well enough to be like, what did she look like? What did like there was probably a couple in training maybe before the time that he had left on the ship.
Yeah, maybe. But here again, this goes to show just how quick and efficient I would imagine just the burial was, because like Niccolo, he's here at a gravesite. He's like saying like, is it true? Like they must have just been very quick.
Yeah, it must have not been like a huge announcement
laying her
with
body to rest.
Yeah, it must have just been like, we got to bury them all. This is where they're buried. You can pay your respects here.
Yeah, because he still, again, as expressed, he's in disbelief. This is difficult for Connie and Jean because, again, they have to go ahead and kind of just give someone else the news, you know? And it's always difficult to go ahead and give the news to somebody that obviously meant a lot to Niccolo. And
yeah.
And even Niccolo kind of just, you know, like, as a lot of people do, they kind of deflect a little bit of...
Yeah, they end up being like, oh, it's actually not that big of a deal.
Well, yeah, that's true. But I also mean, too, where in terms of, like... Deflect's not the right word. I'm trying to think of the word. But, like, they go ahead and express emotions.
They compare
right?
their emotions to the other people that were close to them. Is that what you're trying to get at?
I just meant where, like, it's a little bit of anger towards Jean and Connie, because he says here, it's like,
right.
It's like,
that's what grief is.
yeah, he goes,
he was
what
in
the
denial.
hell were you guys doing?
Yeah.
You know?
He's in denial, and then there's anger in
Yeah.
that grieving. And yeah, he's just going through the stages of grief right now.
Yeah, exactly. And so
Like right in front of us.
Connie and Jean, they feel guilty, of course, because I can only imagine how many times that moment continues to replay over and over and over again in their brain, in their mind, where they can go ahead and constantly think of like so many different ways they could have, you know, just prevented that from happening.
He would have been a little more alert. You know, if Flock wasn't there,
Yeah, exactly.
I think we could have prevented Sasha's death.
For sure.
That's all I'm
Jean
saying.
was like, hey guys, quiet down. Flock's
Yeah.
like, let's hear it for... And I'm like,
I know.
come on, bro.
Let's make some noise. I'm like, okay, dude, we haven't cleared. We're not out of Marley yet.
Yeah.
We're just in the air. But another thing I wanted to point out is that it sucks that you can tell that Niccolo, I mean, when they ask like, how are you? Niccolo's like, okay, well, how are you? Like, hey, like all I did was cook her a meal or two. He starts to diminish his own connection to it, but you could tell that he's a little like, doesn't want to let people know how much he actually feels about Sasha, because he went searching for her gravesite alone.
Yeah.
He didn't ask anyone first. He just went there alone and was like, I'm going to start looking. And didn't know that he was there until we heard the soldier trying to beat him up.
Yeah. I mean,
And then
for
it
all
was
we
like,
know,
oh, okay.
he could have just heard a little whisper and he had to go ahead and see for himself
Yeah.
in order to believe it.
He was like, let me see
You
if
know?
he's actually dead, because I actually was really crushing on her.
Because at this point, I mean, they are, it wasn't a long time since, they arrived, like this is still kind of fresh and stuff, as far as them coming back from Liberia. And this isn't like we have like a time skip or anything, like we went through a 3-year time skip where we went back 3 years, but now we're back in the present.
To get the context, but now we're back in the present.
And so again, this is 3 years that Niccolo and Sasha have had shared experiences together. So for Niccolo to say just a meal or two, like that really does
that's crazy.
diminish the time and quality time that they had together,
It
and
seems
stuff.
like they had really, I mean, from what I'm thinking, that Niccolo and Sasha really bonded over, like, obviously Niccolo's passion and his love language is probably food. And her love language is eating the food, is making it and providing the food. And she's probably like, everything you make is absolutely amazing. And as a chef and as a cook, that's all you want to hear.
Yeah.
So through all of that and through her having a bottomless pit of a stomach, they probably got a lot of time together.
Yeah,
which
definitely.
shows enough for him to be like, I mean, Niccolo is such a cool stand-up guy that he introduces himself to her family.
Yeah.
Once her family comes up.
Exactly. But one thing you mentioned too about like the connection between Sasha and Niccolo, which is it's just all implied right now, and again, Niccolo's not doing a good job of really expressing really the extent of their relationship, but I can imagine just maybe like it
doesn't seem like much of a person that talks about his emotions.
But it still, though, could be something that is seen as frowned upon as far as an Eldian and a Marleyan. So that can be something
Very
too
true.
where maybe it is being very kind of secretive with their true emotions. And maybe Niccolo never did express his feelings to Sasha because of that element, you know?
He's like, oh, well, you're fighting against my people.
Yeah.
Like, I'm just along with it.
He simply states that he's just, he's given permission to work here as a chef. So I've been given permission to live here, but only as a chef. That is my role. That's my job here and stuff,
Essentially kind of a prisoner, but...
He would describe himself as a captive Marleyan.
Yeah.
So that just, again, goes to show. And so I don't think that it would be
He was given permission to cook.
Judging by how this soldier early on in this episode was judging Niccolo, based on being a Marleyan, I don't think that the island would take things very, very lightly if he expressed
not everyone has the same
with Sasha.
Not everyone has the same viewpoint as Mikasa and Armin, unfortunately. They were also dealt the propaganda and didn't visit Marley and was able to see for themselves. They're just told that they're horrible people.
So we will talk about Sasha's family, but real quick, this quick conversation that he has with Connie. As Connie places his hand over on Niccolo's shoulder, understanding again, Connie knows the dynamic that Niccolo and Sasha had. And it sucks using that word in past pretense, and the way this conversation is, Connie obviously appreciates Niccolo for what he has done, right? For Sasha. Because Sasha means a lot to Connie. As Connie goes on to go ahead and express, as Niccolo asks him, how are you doing, Connie?
After Connie was like, thank you for
every meal that you made for her.
You made her so happy. Because Connie knows, I mean, as much as anyone else that was there with her for day one of training, of meeting her. Of like, wow, she is in love with food. That food makes her happier than anything. And the fact that she just got her happiest days with the best food. Thank you so much for cooking for her.
Yeah. And so Connie, he explains what he's been dealing with and how it affected him and really what he lost. And we before in the past have talked about when it comes to like romance and stuff like that, right? That, what about Connie and Sasha? But Connie here, he just, he clears the air as he says, Sasha and I were like twins. So it feels like a half of me is just gone. And,
that simple sentence explains so much between Connie and Sasha's relationship. That's you can tell he's thought about it, that he's like, why do I feel so empty now that she's gone? Like, it's because it genuinely feels like she was a part of you and a part of you is gone.
Yeah, it's got to be a difficult thing to go ahead and kind of just constantly live with. So Connie's going through it like a lot of these other characters are, and
they're
so
doing
now,
what soldiers do. They're losing really close allies
exactly
in major fights.
So now with Sasha's family, as we see her father, her mother, and again a young girl with blonde hair, this young girl named Kaya, and we're gonna learn.
You guys remember Kaya?
How important she is as a character. But yeah, Kaya, we have seen Kaya before in the past. But they're there to go ahead and pay their respects and see Sasha's grave for the first time, as Sasha's mother and Kaya are just devastated and heartbroken and in tears, sobbing over her grave. And then, like you said, Niccolo, he uses this opportunity. A Marleyan captive decides to go ahead and pay his respects to Sasha's family. Right? He says, pardon me, sir, I'm just a captive Marleyan, but I'm allowed to work here. I'm allowed to live here as a chef.
Yeah.
Right?
They've allowed me to cook.
Says, your daughter loved my cooking more than anyone else. He says, ever will. And then he kind of stops and he says, I think.
Yeah.
Right? So, if you
He
ever
didn't want to be like, we're actually not that close, but she
Yeah.
really liked my food.
Yeah. He goes, but if you ever want to, please come and let me cook you something. All right. And you can tell that's a moment that really resonates with Sasha's father, as he kind of like turns to it. He kind of gives a little side eye at first, it's like, what does this Marleyan want?
Yeah.
But then the moment he pays respects to his daughter, right? And, he goes out there and he reaches out his hand to Niccolo, shakes his hand, as Sasha's father is like on the house, right? And stuff, And
he seems like Sasha's father seems like a pretty stand-up guy, not very judgmental, but always guarded.
Yeah.
But not very like, you're Marleyan. I won't trust you.
They take in like orphans essentially, and so they definitely have.
He's a really
great
kind
heart.
guy. They're a kind family.
Yeah, definitely. You could tell Sasha was definitely raised right, and they are very resourceful, but they care a lot. And so this
One of the better dads of Attack on Titan.
Yeah, exactly.
One of the better moms and dads of Attack on Titan.
Yeah. So this is a moment that I think that Niccolo really needed.
Just in time for Father's Day.
Exactly. And I think that also in this moment, I think Sasha's father needed this as well, and to continue to understand really what his daughter meant to other people. And, now that,
you could find beauty in the fact that it's like, oh, you guys were her friends. She had a lot of friends.
Yeah.
Sasha's a cool girl.
Exactly. So, again, a really sad moment, but a touching moment still nonetheless. And understanding, too, that, like, we lose characters in Attack on Titan. We lose a lot of them. Some of them hurt more than others. But, these characters, they have to go ahead and continue moving forward. And we're going to go ahead and continue to see how Niccolo making and preparing a meal for Sasha's family is going to be a pivotal moment, later on in season 4.
I think it's also pivotal going off of Tish said, I think it also helped him humanize them a bit more. I don't know exactly who she's referring to about them, but I'm going to relate it to the fact that Sasha's dad
Marleyans?
I'm going to relate it to the fact that Sasha's dad is now like, Marleyan's killed my daughter, but this Marleyan is really nice. So it's not all Marleyans. It's just the people. So I think this really, not getting too far ahead of myself when we eventually get to that scene that we get to, but Sasha's dad, I think that him being so close with Niccolo is the reason why Sasha's dad is the one to be like, let's not beat up Gabi.
That great point.
Be like, let's not do this.
I was going to say too that obviously the events that took place at the gravesite, right? And the way that Niccolo was able to go ahead and be introduced over to Sasha's father, and then later on, down the line where, they end up enjoying dinner together, and obviously things play out how they do, obviously the wine and stuff is involved as well too, but like the fact that there is the realization that, holy shit, she's the one that killed Sasha. Yeah. Despite all that.
And we've kept her here we've been housing her.
Yeah. Sasha's
getting ahead of ourselves, but you guys know.
Still
Spoiler alert.
Doesn't want to go ahead and essentially claim her life.
Yeah.
try to punish her. None of that.
Ask any father. I mean, I know our dad. He would not be so forgiving.
Yeah.
Like, you're the one that killed my daughter. You're dead.
Yeah.
And it takes a lot of just love and just pure, like, just no hatred in his body at all. Just no, like, grudges. No, just like, you know what? It's fine. Like, it's okay. We this is not how we deal with things. Like, he just wants an end to violence. Typically, is what well, we'll get to it whenever we get to it.
And then
but
there's definitely,
I think this relationship with Niccolo definitely helps him.
Yeah, there's definitely more to that too, because with that specific scene, I mean, that's also a way for Gabi to realize as well.
Like the way that they're both being humanized. They're like, whoa.
Yeah. So
You're not just a Marley and you're not just an Eldian.
we talk about like the importance of Sasha's death as far as if things would have changed if she was alive. Obviously, we wouldn't have had that moment. We wouldn't have had, the realization that they're just people as well, and that, they don't have to consider each other as monsters or devils or evil or whatever the case is, So obviously a very important moment, and we will talk about that when we do cover it later on in the future.
Yeah.
Like I said, we're getting a little ahead of ourselves. But,
Yeah, I'm just so excited.
So that
We're going to be in
was,
double digits next week, guys. We're going to be on episode 10.
Exactly. It's crazy that like we essentially break down these episodes. Like one episode takes about a month.
A month. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
crazy.
it's about a year for 12 episodes.
Yeah.
It's just crazy.
Yeah.
That's why it probably took us about a year for season 2 and about 2 years for season 3, maybe a bit more.
Yeah.
And now we're going through season 4.
It's going to take us 3 years to get through season 4.
I know. And there's a movie. I know. I'm expecting us to be in this for another like 3 years. Hopefully you guys are all still here.
Yeah, buckle up, man. It's going to be a crazy ride.
Yeah. Buckle up.
All right. So
Listen for stray Marley and soldiers sneaking in. Okay.
All right. So now
Are we ready to move on? Are you ready?
This next
Because
part.
you've done, first of all, you've done great job at your voice acting. I know I'm trying. I realized that I was like, let me read slower. Because I was like, AJ has no time to switch between his voices. He's going from Jean to Niccolo to Connie to Sasha's dad to. You did a really good job, though.
Thank you. Yeah. But you don't have to worry about having to go in slow pace. It just feel like, as however it comes.
I'll just go with the natural pacing.
Like, the narrator stuff. I'll go ahead and I'll do my best to keep up.
All right. He likes the challenge. All right. Ready?
Yeah.
We continue the episode as we watch a wagon riding through town. We notice the townspeople all curious, reading the newspaper story. Inside that wagon, riding through town, is Zeke Yeager. Zeke can't help himself but to notice the newspaper headline.
How interesting. They're calling it a victory? Ignorance is scary, but delusion's even worse.
Zeke, of course, needs to be accompanied by his babysitter, Captain Levi, as Levi tells Zeke,
I'm going to kill you and your ship corpse. Sorry. I'm going to kill you and ship your corpse back to Marley with a note about your little plot. Should spell the end for your grandparents. That said, if this secret plan of yours isn't bullshit, I can't wait and chop you up once it's finished. I don't care much either way.
Zeke responds to Levi's threats and displeasure.
Well, I appreciate your willingness to accommodate. But hey, I do get to meet Aaron soon, don't I?
Captain Levi tells Zeke,
There's no need to rush. We've prepared a nice little place for you to stay here. A beautiful hotel that you can relax at.
They both just stare at each other now in this carriage transport. And Zeke asks Levi,
So, could I ask you to stop glaring?
We change locations to Yelena's whereabouts as she explains. This is all the Titan transformation serum we were able to steal from Marley. We then notice the 2 cases as well as a full crate. Sorry, but it's hard to reproduce. Yelena, accompanied by Onyang Capone and others, stand in a group as the group appears to look nervous and hesitant, giving away so much serum. Pixis replies to Yelena.
It's fine. For our purposes, there should be plenty.
We can see... Hold on. Sorry, I just lost it. We can see Pixis has his soldiers beside him.
I just wish that we were in a position to return your kindness. We owe you so much already. You turned our ignorance into hope and got nothing in return. For us to doubt the people who saved us,
We truly are no better than devils.
Yelena tells Pixis, "It is my opinion that we've proven ourselves to be loyal friends over these past 3 years. This is a shame." We now notice Pixis has his soldiers surrounding Yelena and others with guns aimed at them. "The weapons that we offered you as gifts were intended to bring freedom to the Eldian people." Pixis responds as he explains,
I know that this is a selfish request, but would you please overlook our weakness for a time? We're going to great lengths to keep Zeke on a tight leash.
Yelena acknowledges, "It's fine, Commander. I understand. The day will soon come when we sit at the same table once again." We change locations yet again, as now we're in a forest of giant trees. Zeke, noticing the forest, asks,
This is my hotel.
Captain Levi responds,
What better lodging could there be? It's a giant forest, difficult to move through and devoid of boulders.
Zeke acknowledges.
Looks like a fun spot for using ODM gear too. Hey, quick question. This natural wonder, would you mind letting me show it to Gabi and Falco?
Levi responds,
Whether they get to see the sights or not, depends on you.
We change locations another time to a prison cell. In it, we see an exhausted Falco. In the same cell, we can see Gabi with determination and plotting her next plan of action. Gabi, chewing her fingernail, whispers to herself,
I'll kill you, Aaron Yeager.
Going now to Armin as he continues to hold a seashell in hand, narrating to someone.
Aaron was ready to do it alone. Whether we helped him or abandoned him, the outcome would have been awful either way. But now, we've killed a huge number of people. Sailors, soldiers, civilians. The devastation we spread was indiscriminate. Still, if we had left that port intact, then Marley would have launched an immediate counterattack against our island. We've abandoned all hope for peace, but we didn't have any choice. Any more than the three of you did. Right, Annie?
We finally see Annie, still in her crystallized cocoon.
Say something. Please.
We go back to where we began at the start of this episode, the graveyard. Mikasa is still there pondering to herself as she whispers to herself, kill or be killed. Fight for your life. Mikasa holds her scarf gently as it protects her face. Meanwhile, the man that told her those words so many years ago is in his cell, staring at himself. Aaron tells himself,
The only way to live is to fight. So fight. Just fight.
to be continued.
Oh, shit. Aaron is not Aaron anymore.
That's the scene, guys. It's the scene we get.
This is the one where it's fucking drenched.
Yeah.
He puts his hair up.
Yeah, it's like that's before we saw like the sink full of water.
Yeah.
Like, dude.
Exactly.
What a waste.
Oh man. But we see that he's in a cell, so obviously there is no trust because Aaron pulled that
He did. Yeah.
he essentially
They told him like, dude, you used the fact that you knew we were going to come rescue you to your advantage.
Exactly.
You took advantage of basically their efforts.
of their loyalty, of their resources, you
Yeah.
know, and just
Like you knew we had no other choice but to come and save you, and you risked so many people's lives.
Yeah, and that kind of goes along with what Armin was, you know, obviously explaining to Annie.
Mm-hmm.
And Armin, he says that Aaron was ready to do it alone. Right? He says whether we were going to help him or not.
Yeah,
Says
like
that-
he was going to get this done.
He says this outcome, either way, was going to be awful. Right? He goes, but now they've killed a huge number of people.
Mm-hmm.
They've killed so many people. He explains sailors, soldiers, civilians. He says the devastation was indiscriminate. But still,
Armin understood his role, and if he didn't go along with the plan, the Harbor Fleet, right? We saw the fleet, right? And he understands that if he did not do that, then Marley would have had an opportunity to launch a significant counterattack against the island. And so Armin says, we've abandoned all hope for peace. But again, there was no choice. And he said, any more than the three of you had, right? So Armin is now
very sympathetic.
He's in a position now where he understands what Raina, Bertolt, and Annie were going through because they were on a mission, right? So now, like you said, there is that sympathy factor. You know, as he talks to Annie, as we see her still in that crystallized cocoon that she
It could also
created
help
for
that
herself.
he's seen some of Bertolt's memories, so he's like,
That's true.
He can't help but feel empathetic.
Yeah.
He's like, I've experienced these in my dreams. I know that you guys didn't have a choice.
Yeah. But then, I mean, just seeing the element of emotions that Armin is expressing here and feeling in this and that, you know, he obviously misses Annie as he just so desperately wants her to say something back.
Yeah.
You know? But going back to the topic at hand here, right? We're talking about Eren and how Eren, he is now inside a cell.
Tish said, my empathetic king.
There you go. But yeah, he's in a cell now because how could Levi, Hanji, and others trust him?
Yeah.
You know,
After he took advantage of their efforts like that.
exactly. And so there is now an element of trust that's lost. Sorry.
Hey, but he gets a cell with a bed and a sink and a mirror. So he can at least, you know, give himself his pep talks while he's in his cell.
They still treat him like a human.
It looks like Gabi's trying to do her pep talk to herself, but obviously Flock's like, girl, what? Girl, you good over there?
Exactly. But what I was going to go ahead and say was just like now the trust has been lost, and we see that there have been certain actions now. There are certain measures that soldiers in parity are now taking, right? Out of precaution.
Yeah.
We see that Pixis has, you know, Yelena and Onion Capone and the other group of Marlians that have been helping out. You know, they're surrounded because now there's that kind of, you know, we have to keep an eye on you now. You know,
I know that, you know, you guys have been here for 3 years, but it seems like we just can't look past the fact that, you know, what if we can't trust you? You are still Marlian.
Yeah.
And Zeke is still coming.
Exactly. I mean, Pixis, he understands, you know, he even addresses the fact that, like, look, we appreciate everything that you've done for us.
We have to do this.
We wish that we could return your kindness. We owe you so much already, but you have turned our ignorance into hope, and you got nothing in return. So for us,
The weapons
to
you
doubt,
gave us.
I know, you know, the people who saved us, we truly are no better than devils. He understands what's happening here. We talked about Pixis as he's a person who he needs to go ahead and get really as much elements of information as he can. So I think that this is something that he's doing, but he's doing it out of precaution because of all the information that he's
Better
been given.
safe than sorry.
You know, and so he continues and he essentially tells her, like, look, don't overlook our weakness, okay?
Yeah.
He says we're going to great lengths to keep Zeke on a tight leash. And I think that's what's really changed here is that now Zeke is on the island.
Yeah. He's on the island.
Yeah.
And he's got the Beast Titan along with his ability to call. Well, he doesn't Well, we know his spinal fluid. We just know Zeke is a strategist.
Zeke is he's crafty. He understands his powers and he knows how to do them. So he can be sneaky.
He's a strategist.
You know. So it's different when you have a plan that is conducted by Zeke. Right, like 3 years ago, as Yelena was trying to go and explain.
Which is why he's at his beautiful.
Yeah, he's over at a nice little lodging hotel.
Yeah, I know.
But I think that it's like I said, it's one thing when it's a plan by Zeke, but now it's different when Zeke is here in person.
And we're not a part of his plan.
Yeah,
We're just trying to make sure he stays around until he's so giddy to meet Eren.
Yeah.
You know?
And this is the man who, you know, almost
not single-handedly, but pretty damn close to go out there and taking out every scout that's there.
He took out Irvin.
And
This is the guy that took out Irvin.
this guy caused
And
such...
almost took out Flock. Why couldn't you? Okay, whatever.
Exactly.
All of them except for Flock.
Well, yeah, so Zeke, I mean, he's a formidable foe, which is very, very difficult to trust him. So that's why now all the different, precautionary measures are they're all being made.
I like that about Pixis, though. I like that he's like, I'm not going to care about your freaking feelings. Forgive us, but I'm going to keep pointing guns at you.
And it's important, too, that they essentially confiscated the Titan serum. There's a lot of Titan serum that's there. Like I said,
Like, this is all we have.
There's 2 cases, right? And then there is
Of the syringes and stuff.
The cases that we're referring to are essentially the case that Levi got from Kenny.
Yeah.
That's the case.
It's got the syringe with the fluid already inside.
So there's 2 of those, but then there is a giant crate of those serum bottles.
Right.
So that's just to go out there and give some context to our friends listening. That's what the soldiers confiscated, and it's a lot. And even like Yelena explains, like it's really hard to reproduce.
Yeah.
And it just says that that's what they were able to steal from Marley. So they stole all that shit.
I mean, we know that they probably got a bunch, and with how much Commander Gross was like, all right, let me do this, and we theorize that maybe he has control over, we'll make you a nice 7 meter. We'll make you a nice, like,
I know.
It seems like
we were wondering how he was able to kind of just measure that out.
Yeah. Or unless he's just saying shit. But it seems like they really got it down over there in terms of the fluid. Which is why they're grateful just to be like,
it was a sick hobby of that dude,
I know.
Really enjoy doing it.
Sick in a bad way, guys.
Yeah, exactly. But I would imagine they obviously confiscated the Titan serum to prevent any of them from, becoming into Titans.
Being like, we gotta keep all of this.
Yeah.
Well, what about all those crates that you brought in of the wine?
I know.
We'll just keep that in my office.
Yeah. We'll just keep that.
He becomes to a super Titan.
I know.
He drank all the wine.
I know, he drank all of it.
Imagine Pixis turns into a Rod Rice type freaking threat level.
Oh my God.
All right. Zeke, again, he's in town. They're being very incognito about it, making sure nobody sees Zeke. He's over in this carriage wagon with
being covered
with Levi, and Zeke can't help but notice the headline and how parody.
Yeah, what do you think about Zeke's opinion of the headline?
You know what? I think that
about him not agreeing that it's a victory and that they're ignorant to call it a victory.
I think that Zeke is loyal to a fault, and I think that this is one of those things where he's like, look, you guys got this far because of me. Calm down now. Don't go out there and start boasting that you guys did something like, you guys wouldn't be where you're at without me.
Yeah, I gave up on the fight.
Yeah.
Okay?
And
I wasn't trying.
Like, Zeke's right to a certain point, But again, this is just like propaganda stuff, Like, this is all stuff that, like, this is what media does. Media, like, newspapers, whatever it is, clickbait, they need a good headline, right? To go ahead and get people to want to read it and stuff, So when they see something that requires, like, oh my gosh, what? We got a victory over in Marley?
Yeah,
I got to read about this and stuff, So that's why, Zeke, he sees it.
It was a planned victory.
He goes,
essentially.
all right.
So was it a real victory? Probably in Zeke's eyes, no. But to them, they can know it. They can think it's a victory.
Yeah.
It's fine.
And, he says ignorance is scary, but delusion's even worse. I think he's from a place of delusion a little bit.
I know.
There's a lot of delusional Marleyans out over in Marley.
He just seems so salty. He's like, guys, we didn't lose.
I know.
I'm not a loser. I wasn't trying. Have you seen that video of Justin Bieber crashing out? Because he's just been crashing out a lot. But
I know
there's a video of him and Haley at an arcade, and she's like, I beat him playing basketball, and he's like yelling, he's like, I wasn't trying. Have you seen that video? Oh my God, you guys need to hear how Justin Bieber sounds. This is what I'm picturing,
where it's like the paparazzi and he's telling the guy, like, I'm a human being, okay, like,
it's not clocking to you that I'm standing on business. Yeah, that one is funny.
Yeah,
like, why did you just say that?
Just tell that it's now really taking a toll. He needs to get off social media.
Yeah,
he needs to avoid it.
Poor
and stuff,
Justin, man.
he needs to focus on his family. Isn't he like a family
He's a
man?
dad.
He's a father. Yeah, he does. He needs to prioritize his life, and
Okay. Put on your headphones for this. You got to hear him.
this one. Hopefully all you guys can hear it too.
Oh my God, that's me. Hold on.
Yeah, I was going to say, that sounds a lot like you.
Hold on, there's an ad. Hold on, guys.
Oh, man.
Hold on. There's an ad here. I just want to watch the video.
Yeah. The suspense.
The title is Justin Bieber loses it when his wife Haley beats him at an arcade.
Baby, I wasn't trying!
Oh, my God.
Baby, I wasn't trying!
I beat you, accept it!
What is his deal? You guys all heard that? That was Justin Bieber.
He sounds genuinely so pissed off.
The growl and the word trying.
Yeah.
Like, that is.
My score? Husband's score.
Baby, I wasn't trying!
Oh, my gosh. Yeah, he's
Poor
in the
guy.
deep end, man.
Poor guy.
He's going through it.
So that's what I imagine Zeke is doing in his head when
my
he
God,
sees
yeah.
the headline.
I wasn't trying.
I wasn't trying.
That's crazy. I have not seen that,
Yeah.
but I'm genuinely concerned for him.
I know.
Yeah,
Poor guy.
He needs some, just
Given this, she was posting it to millions of people, and the score was 2,050 to 500. But he wasn't trying.
maybe she's just a hooper, man. You never know. Like,
He wasn't trying.
that's crazy. Wow.
It's not crazy.
Prayers to be. Hopefully, his
Isn't
mental
that
health is
crazy?
okay.
I know.
Focus on your life, bro.
Poor
Just
guy.
Focus on your family and.
He's just been in the public eye since he
Yeah.
was a kid. Poor
Yeah,
guy.
it's a difficult thing for sure. I can
He's
only
been a
imagine,
product
especially
of
with
the
even just
public.
the Diddy stuff too recently and all
I
that.
know.
We don't even
don't even know
understand
what's
the
going on
involvement
with
with all
that
that and stuff. But yeah, hopefully he gets the help he
Their
needs.
freaking lawyers are trying to call for a mistrial because they forgot to bring up like one.
Oh, they always try to go ahead and,
They're like,
and
let's
find
just
some
redo
sort
the
of
whole
stipulation
thing.
and all that.
Let's redo the entire thing again.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
That's
We're like on
craziness.
week 6 of this.
Yeah.
But anyways,
Yeah. So Zeke, yeah. I mean, maybe
Zeke,
he is.
he
crashing
wasn't
out.
trying.
Maybe
he wasn't trying.
Yeah. But clearly Levi doesn't
He doesn't
care either way. He's still ready to go ahead and go after Zeke, and he's just waiting for the word.
Mm-hmm.
He's like talking about how
You could tell he's so excited because the next, he's just like, good news. I'm seeing Aaron soon though, right? Seeing Aaron?
I'm thinking about like the words here that Levi says. He says, "I'm going to kill you and ship your corpse back to Marley with a note about your little plot. You should spell the N for your grandparents." Obviously talking about the treason.
Just to
and
snitch on him,
being
be
a
like,
traitor and
look,
stuff,
he's a traitor.
And he goes, "That said, if this secret plan of yours isn't bullshit, I can't wait and chop you up once it's finished." So pretty much he goes, either way,
You're dead.
if you're full of shit, I'm going to kill you. But if you're not full of shit, I'm just going to wait till the plan's over.
I'm gonna kill
and
you
then
later.
Still kill you. Yeah, exactly.
All up to you. Which is pretty much is what Levi's saying the whole time.
Yeah.
I'm
And
like,
then
it's all up to you.
like you said, Zeke's like, well, thank you. They have a little back and forth and stuff, and he goes, I appreciate
Even
your
on the
willingness
ship,
to
you have
accommodate.
Zeke's like, can you stop glaring at me? Oh, are you
Yeah.
mad at me, Levi? Stop glaring. You're gonna make me pee my pants.
But he says, well, hey, I do get to meet Aaron soon, don't I? Mm-hmm. And Levi,
Which is all you could tell. It's all he's thinking about.
Yeah.
That's all he's thinking about.
There's no need to rush. We've prepared a nice little place for you to stay here. Beautiful hotel that you can relax at. Now let's
Mm-hmm.
talk about that hotel. And
But then Zeke also asks, so could I ask you to stop glaring
yeah.
again?
Uh-huh. So the hotel, right?
Yeah,
He goes,
his
this is my
beautiful hotel.
He goes, what better lodging could there be than a giant forest? Difficult to move through, and there aren't any boulders.
Yeah, there's no boulders.
And then Zeke acknowledges, well, it looks like a fun spot to use ODM gear.
yeah, Like so, basically, we always have the upper hand.
Yeah. So here's an interesting element here, right? He goes, quick question. This natural wonder, would you mind if I show my miscalculations? Now, does Zeke want to go ahead and transform them or
I think
dispose
he
of them?
wants them there when
Or does he want to try to
transforms
save them?
so that he can maybe grab them and save
I
them?
couldn't understand if he wanted to save them or
What
if
do
he
you guys
wanted,
think?
or if
Say
he
in
wanted,
chat what you guys think.
or if he wanted to kill them both, during this because they are kind of like loose ends. You know.
Yeah, they really are.
I couldn't because obviously
What do you guys think that Zeke is saying when he talks about Gabi and Falco?
Like we know
and about bringing them to where he's at.
Watch the series in its entirety. You understand what's going to happen in that forest. It's going to be very, very difficult for Levi.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
And so knowing what we know,
but you know what, guys, it pays off to be sober. Lesson of that story is it pays off to be sober.
True.
Okay.
But knowing what we know and how that plays out, the fact that Zeke is requesting that Gabi and Falco be there, I was wondering, is it for good or is it for bad?
Yeah.
Is it because I want to kill them or is it because I want to save them?
Is it good for Gabi and Falco or is it bad for Gabi and Falco? Because you know they're going to be like, yeah, I want to hang out with Zeke. Let's go to Zeke.
So, I mean, I couldn't help but go and wonder to myself.
I think he just wants to know where the loose ends are. He's like, I just want to be in control of those miscalculations, is what I'm thinking.
Yeah, could very well be that, but... I like to think that, you know, Zeke wanted to go ahead and make sure that they don't become a thorn in his side, you know, later on.
Yeah.
Which obviously Gabi does.
Exactly. I think that's why he's like, can I get them? Because this Gabi bitch, like this kid is relentless.
Exactly.
And she proves it that time and time again.
Yeah.
Also, side note, Tish talks about Justin Bieber. And she said, being married to him seems like a punishment a bit. Seems like a punishment. I think it's just because Justin, poor guy, he just needs to get out of the public eye and he's just got to figure it out. Poor guy.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean,
he wasn't trying.
I don't know the whole
not clocking to you that he's standing on business
pop
right
culture
now.
Thing. I can only imagine that maybe what's her name, Haley. She's probably not the best person either, and to put him on blast like that on social media, like
I know.
I think she knew what she was doing, you know. And
that's like a whole nother thing. Him and Haley Bieber, they have such a weird.
Really.
Like on Valentine's Day, he posted a photo of him and Flavor Flav, nothing else, and then on her birthday. Didn't comment anything, didn't say anything. But on other celebrities' birthdays, like Madison Beers and stuff, he'll comment and be like, happy birthday, which I guess is whatever. I mean, you could do things privately.
That's interesting. I mean, obviously, you know.
Seems rough. I just care about their, I worry about their kid.
And then that's obviously not good for each other's mental health. Clearly, Justin Bieber is being affected by it. But also, like you said, you know, if they have a child, so you got to do what's best for your child.
I know.
You know, just be, try to just be,
it seems like he's on drugs again. Seems like he's going through it and he's on drugs again.
Wow.
There's like videos and clips of him and it's like, dude, he is like so high here. Like he's got to be on coke or something here. Because he's like not.
How sad would it be? And I'm not trying to go ahead and manifest. I'm not trying to put anything out there. I'm only saying this for the sake of just, prayers to Justin Bieber. But like, how sad would it be if we get like an unfortunate like Mac Miller thing?
Yeah, we would hate to lose him young because he's going through so much right now. And it's the fact that, everything's being recorded and everyone's talking about it. It's only like getting to him more. And poor guy.
We're kind of spiraling a bit, but I think this is obviously important to talk about mental health and stuff. But like Mac Miller was also going through it, huh?
Yeah.
Like at that time.
And people had no idea.
Yeah, because I know that he was dealing with depression and he and Ariana were already split up, right? At that time,
they were already broken up.
And
when he died,
it could, it's mental health is obviously important, and prayers out to Justin and
I know Justin Bieber and his family.
Goes to show that fame and just having all the money, this and that and stuff,
Jacob says Lil Peep too. Yeah, same thing with Lil Peep.
Yeah, Lil Peep, exactly.
Lil Peep was also doing a lot of drugs and was depressed and
With Lil Peep, was it an overdose of fentanyl?
Yeah.
Okay.
He was pretty much laced. I think is what happened.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. Sometimes when you have more money than others, you're unfortunately
a target,
more susceptible to buying products like that can end your life, and life is already so short.
But it sucks when you're literally a product. Like, you're not even a person anymore. You're not a human. You're a product of the public eye.
Yeah, that's why when it comes to fame, that's why I say for my dream job, voice actor, because I'm using my voice and I'm not going to be on the screen
a whole lot.
I know that if anybody does happen to notice or acknowledge or see me, they know me and they're a true fan because they don't see my face. That just means that they're aware of me and stuff.
Yeah. They're just like, I've heard,
that would be
I heard
that,
his voice.
That would be great.
Yeah, that'd be perfect. Only true fans would recognize you.
Yeah,
is the thing.
So
that'd be perfect.
In the public eye like that, especially at such a young age, I can only imagine how
Ooh,
much.
Justin, you got to take a vacation somewhere and just figure it out. Go to therapy and figure it out.
Definitely. So
that's why he's trying to explain it. He's like, it's not clocking to you that I'm a human being. I'm a human being. Which is true. Paparazzi are not fun.
Well, I think that with paparazzi, their job is to go ahead and be there. And the more they talk, the more things kind of get to a point where, the celebrity is kind of yelling at the paparazzi. That's kind of what they want, isn't it? They want to go ahead and get a rise out of you.
But honestly, I'm glad that in recent times now, everyone's starting to be like, yeah, yell at them. Yeah. Like they're actually horrible people.
Remember the Tobey Maguire?
Yes.
Get the fuck out of the way.
Yeah.
He's like, he's talking about how he's trying to get out of the driveway and stuff like that.
Like,
and
I'm going to hit you with my car. Get out of the road.
Yeah.
I can't see anything. You're shining your lights in my face. I'm trying to drive. There's been so many people that have like Miley Cyrus got mad at someone because the paparazzi shoved Miley Cyrus's mom out of the way, not knowing it was her mom, obviously.
That would upset me too.
And be like, you just pushed my mom. Don't ever do that ever. I don't ever want to see you again.
Yeah.
And just people have gotten really pissed off because paparazzi are just they don't really care about your privacy and they don't care that you're a human being.
No, not at all.
They're just trying to take photos for their money.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, Zeke's got a nice hotel, but I was just curious about the intentions of wanting.
If you guys know that and you're listening to this in the future and you have an idea of why Zeke does want Gabi and Falco there in the Forest of Giant Trees more than just to be like, I want to know where my loose ends are. Let us know if you guys have any thoughts on that. If you're watching this in the future time, DM us at Attack the Talk Podcast.
Yeah.
Feel free to message us. We'll be checking Instagram comments as well.
Definitely.
And yeah, let us know. Or YouTube comments as well. Yeah, check it out. Let us know what you guys think. Because I think it's just because he's like, I just want to be in control and see where my loose ends are.
that does make sense too. And Levi, again, doesn't give a shit.
Because he knows Gabi be getting into trouble and she be ruining plans.
Yeah.
She be doing her own thing.
Because Levi, essentially, he's putting all the responsibility on Zeke to go and prove whether he's faithful or not. Levi just waiting to go ahead and strike, whether it is during or whether it's after the fact. And he just says, whether they get to see the sights or not depends on you, right? And so, like you said, we see Falco and Gabi are sharing the same cell, and Gabi obviously has one person on her mind. That's Eren Yeager, and
Gabi's probably going, I mean, she is going insane, but probably also because, the Zeke Yeager just was like, these are miscalculations.
Yeah.
I don't know what they are.
I'm trying to see if we missed anything and maybe Yelena's words to Commander Pixis. But, I mean...
They were pretty surface level cordial, just talking about war in a fancy way.
Yeah, I know Yelena's not trying to go ahead and show her cards. She's just trying to comply. Exactly. For a moment there, one of the characters looked like Flagle that was there alongside them, but obviously wasn't because Flagle wouldn't be among the
Yeah,
Marlians.
I don't think they're giving him a gun.
No, I thought that he was one of the ones getting the gun aimed at.
Oh, yeah, that wouldn't have been Flagle,
So I don't think that would be Flagle.
They got a Flagle look-alike.
Yeah.
Hello, friend. We are live. Ader?
He says,
Hi, Ader.
We are live.
Yeah.
That's
We are live.
Josh
Is
says.
this
Is that
Josh?
Is that Josh?
Josh, we're literally just getting to the last part of the episode. Yeah. We're getting to the very last. He said it's me, Josh, LMAO.
Hey, what's
Hi,
up, Josh? Welcome, man. Hopefully you've been good. We've missed you, man.
Man, it's probably late for you, huh, man?
Yeah, we're on YouTube now.
Yeah, we're live on YouTube
good,
now.
man.
Thanks for joining. Good. Also, did I pronounce your username right? Ader? A-T-E-R, Ader? Adder? Hi, my people. Hello. Hi, Josh.
So...
He said it's 11 a.m. where he's at.
Oh, shit.
Oh.
There you go. Well,
okay.
Good morning.
Well, then cool. Yes, I did pronounce it correctly. Okay, Ader.
Where are you at right now?
I'll call you Josh.
For it to be 11 a.m.
Yeah, where are you at, man?
Are you traveling right now?
11 a.m. right now.
I was going to ask you.
Oh, he said I meant p.m. Oops.
Oh,
okay.
I was going to say, okay.
Just kidding.
Okay. So you're out over in London or something?
I know. I was like, are you overseas? Are you actually going to go to the Zach meet and greet right now?
Are you with Zach right now? Zach's over in Europe.
I know.
Yeah, interesting.
So
yeah,
then we go
Josh.
to
I wanted to ask Josh a question real quick.
oh yeah, ask him what he thinks about Zeke's request.
Yeah, that's more important than what I was gonna ask.
What were you gonna ask
I'm
him?
gonna ask him if he's heard of Freddy's frozen custard steak burgers or Bojangles.
I have an Attack on Titan question.
We did a top 10 fast food fries.
Have you heard of
list.
those?
If you tried their fries, let us know because we didn't have anything to go and judge the list based off of those ones. They are in the top 5 list. Number 3 is Freddy's frozen custard and steak burgers fries, and then number 4 is Bojangles fries. I was just curious if you ever tried them, Josh.
He said yes, I've heard of them. I live near one.
Oh, interesting.
Live near a Bojangles or near a
Freddy's frozen
Freddy's frozen custard
and steak burgers.
and steak burgers because supposedly those fries are really really good.
Yeah. And then number 2 was Shake Shack, and number 1 was In-N-Out Burger.
Yeah.
We're curious, but the question, the more
He said, I'm in a rivals match right now. Sorry, be right back. And he said, I've heard of Freddy's. I live near a Freddy's.
Okay.
And he also said, sorry, I've been MIA recently. I've been working and doing art and stuff.
Oh, what?
Yeah, cool,
Do you have
Josh.
do you have like a Instagram that you're showcasing your art at and stuff like that? Because
Yeah, sorry, Josh. I know that you're in a Marvel Rivals match right now, but
just do your thing, man. We'll be here. We're gonna
Good
be
luck
getting
on
to
your
a close soon, but
it'll probably be done by the time that we're actually saying bye.
yeah. But yeah, if you're still with us, we'll go ahead and we'll ask you that question.
Yeah.
But yeah, kind of continuing on with the last little part of our final thoughts here. Like you said, pretty status
Mikasa?
quo between Yelena and Pixis. You said Mikasa. Yeah.
Yeah.
So Mikasa, she's still there over at the graveyard. Mm-hmm. She's still just kind of lamenting over on maybe life.
Yeah. I mean, she did just totally go through a lot, and she's like, "This is not my Aaron. I just lost Sasha. What is happening?"
Yeah.
She's going through a lot, so
And,
she's probably just like, "I just need some time."
She whispers to herself, and these are the words that Aaron got her to kind of unleash her Ackerman potential, right? Mm-hmm. Kill or be killed, fight for your life. Words that obviously resonate with her. There are certain words that she recalls. Mm-hmm. Obviously another one being this world is so cruel.
Yeah, but it's also very beautiful.
And
I will always be around to wrap this scarf around you.
but you can see as she's just like, again, just kind of pondering to herself. She has the scarf kind of like around, covering up her like mouth area as she's just like kind of like touching the scarf. Mm-hmm. She's obviously thinking about Aaron in this moment. She says those words again, and she's probably, like you said, she in a way lost her Aaron. She's probably just kind of
Processing everything.
just wanting that Aaron back. That Aaron went out of his way to go protect her.
Yeah.
It's,
I want the Aaron that put this scarf around me.
Yeah. And it isn't until much later on when we realize that, Aaron is acting in a way that is thinking about his friends, but he has to be very kind of intent with his kind of facade, like he has to be portrayed, he has to act like an asshole to keep them at a distance.
Right.
But he still obviously cares, as we find out, how it ends. But this is, like you said, it's so difficult for Mikasa to process this because Aaron has changed so much in these past 3 years, and she hasn't even seen Aaron in, again, that time frame that he was over in Marley.
And when she finally did see him, her main words were just, "Please come home.
Yeah.
Can we leave now? Let's go home."
Aaron wasn't
Let's go back.
sympathetic to her arrival. He wasn't emotional and showing a sense that he cared and missed her. It was just all about, again, just the straight and narrow path. And there isn't any room for anybody else. And it seems like with Aaron, the only other person that is there leading the way is that deity Aaron.
Yeah.
And
Also, Josh is back.
all right, cool.
He said, "I love Mikasa, and I just post my art and stuff on my main account on Insta."
If you want us, we can go ahead.
He said, "What was the question?"
I'll tell you the question, but if you want us to go ahead and just kind of
Wants to
spread
shout
your
you
art,
out.
man.
Feel free to put that in chat. Put it in chat. Put your Instagram
And you know
in
what else?
chat.
if you look over at the bio, the bio right now over in YouTube, or where we're streaming live right now, I believe it says if you're interested in art, check out. And we have our friend Caesar. We have his Instagram, I believe, plugged. If you want us to go ahead and add your art,
if you want
your
to share
Instagram
your art,
that,
man, feel free.
We'll go ahead and
do
we'll
it.
put your link, the link to your Instagram, over in the bio. Any of our friends, you know, like if you want us to go ahead and kind of shout out something that you guys are interested in.
Also, hello, Zway.
Hey, what's up, Zay?
He's here, right here.
Zway?
Hi, ZWE.
Okay.
Zay.
What's up?
Zway. I forgot how to pronounce your name.
But yeah, welcome.
Zway too.
And,
he said, "What's up?" And Josh said, "Oh gosh," and then put down his @ is HX. Okay, ready for the @ HXRRIFY.
Yeah.
Period. Josh.
So that's just his main, you said, right?
Yeah.
We
So he just posted on his
follow
main
him.
account.
We follow him. Right?
We do.
Okay,
We
so
follow
then we'll go ahead and we'll if you're cool with that, Josh, we'll add the link over to the bio where it says interested in art.
If you're cool with that. Yeah.
Obviously, you know, with your permission.
Yeah.
And if anybody else
like
has
to
art and
promote.
stuff like
It's
that, let
free.
us know. And we're waiting for Lexi to go ahead and
Open up
get
my Etsy.
That Etsy going.
I
So that
know.
we can go ahead and
I've
add
been making
her,
jewelry too, but I've just been making little things here and there.
and add her link over to the
Zway2
Etsy
also
store.
says in PUBG the new Attack on Titan is out. Yeah.
Oh, shit.
And PUBG has like this new. It's only I think for. Is it only for online, Zway2, or is it only for, or is it on all platforms? Because PUBG is a first-person shooter game, and they supposedly added like ODM
PUBG's been around
gear.
for a while.
Yeah, they supposedly added like ODM gear.
That's so
and
cool.
stuff, and like Attack on Titan tech.
I think that we've been waiting for like a game that really does feel so freeing to go ahead and use the ODM gear. There is the Attack on Titan game, and I've played that, and it feels cool to go ahead and use your ODM gear, but it can be a little bit of you're trying to go ahead and
It's on all
and
profiles.
and
Okay,
learn
cool.
and kind of go through the training to go ahead and play the game and be able to move around, so
Kind of like
effortlessly.
the most recent Amazing Spider-Man. Like everyone talked about how good that swinging
I know.
tech
Can you imagine
was.
if we got that with ODM?
But that with ODM gear,
would
with
be
Attack on Titan,
fucking crazy.
is beautiful.
I've been waiting for a new Attack on Titan game. We were kind of like hinted at it. You know,
Zway2
when-
says in the update you can turn into a Titan in PUBG.
Oh, really?
No
Oh, shit.
way.
That's so cool.
Which Titan? Do you get to choose?
I know. Do you get to
I need
choose your Titan,
details
or is it
on this.
you're only allowed to choose specific characters?
Also, Josh said that'd be cool if you guys put my link in the LinkTree. I'll try and post some more art then.
Okay. Yeah.
It's a motivator.
We'll have it in the bio for
Yeah,
our
we'll put it
episodes.
in the bio.
All right, Josh, just so you know
we'll put
where
your link
to
in the
look for
bio.
it. Because like I said, if you look over at the stream, what we're doing right now, if you look over in the bio, I believe that if you scroll down, we have some links that had to our stuff. We went ahead and kind of updated because obviously Fandomian, the link doesn't work anymore.
Yeah.
And stuff, and there's certain things that we went ahead and we changed, but yeah, there's a section where it says interested in art. Check out our friend Caesar, and we can add your Instagram link to that one as well.
Yes, we totally can. Add your Instagram link.
So the question that we want to ask you, Josh, is something that we were talking about in this episode where Levi has taken Zeke to the forest of giant trees. Okay, we understand what's going to play out right over in the forest, and how Zeke is going to go ahead and be very tactical, right? And how he's going to go ahead and escape. But what's interesting is that Zeke is being very coy with a little bit of the wording here as he tells Levi, or I guess asks, this natural wonder, talking about the forest, would you mind letting me show it to Gabi and Falco? Now, we were wondering why he wants Gabi and Falco there.
there.
He described them as miscalculations, and we don't know if they're just loose ends over in this plan that Zeke has to where maybe he needs to get rid of them. So does he want Gabi and Falco to be there over in the forest so that he can dispose of them when he essentially escapes? Or is it to rescue them, to save them? Or is it just to know where they're at? Like Lexi was mentioning that.
Yeah,
just
to be like,
have
I want to know
control
where the loose ends are.
over what's happening here.
Josh says, I love you guys so much.
Love you too, bro.
Love you too, man.
We were just wondering as far as the words that, because one thing I mentioned that in this episode, there are few lines here that these characters say that the words kind of, I feel like they hold some weight you know, behind them. And they're not just kind of like bullshit coy words that, you know, Zeke and Levi are bouncing, you know, back and forth and stuff, you know, because they don't like each other. But, you know, when he brings up Gabi and Falco, I think it's for a reason. I just didn't know if it was just to dispose of them so they don't become, you know, a pain in the ass later on, because we find out that they do.
Yeah, they
very
do
much
end up
do.
messing with a couple of schemes, but it ends up working out, and I guess, you know, we'll get to it when we get to it.
But also, like Lexi mentioned too, though, real quick, is that you mentioned that he is so tactical, he is so methodical that he went toe to toe with Irvin.
Yeah, with the Irvin Smith.
When he has a plan like this, I think that he wants to go ahead and know every single pawn, every single player that's involved in how they are gonna be a part of his plan.
To how to
the
use
fact
them.
that these two miscalculations are on this island. Maybe it could be just to know where they're at, or maybe it could be to go ahead and, you know, make sure they're there so that when he plans to escape that, they're just collateral damage. Or maybe he does want to protect them. They all make sense.
He probably has so many thoughts running through his head about like, what tools do I have? Because keep in mind, I mean, they're not there yet, but Porco and Peak do infiltrate and sneak into Parody, and they do blend in for a little bit.
Yeah.
So he's probably thinking about that too. He's like, let me just get all of my Marlians.
Would be funny is if, let's say, they did join and they were over there, right? Obviously being, you know, babysat by Levi.
Yeah.
And then Zeke just pulls out the question and be like, hey, so you two want to try wine for the first time?
You guys
Then we
wanna
know
try
our
some wine?
answer.
Yeah, then we're like, okay, now we know why he wants them there. Josh answers.
Okay.
He said he does like, talking about Zeke. Zeke does like Falco and Gabi, and I always assumed he was just teasing Levi, just being nonchalant, and and to feel like he isn't just a prisoner.
Okay, yeah, because we understand they are teasing each other back and forth and
They
stuff.
are.
Maybe it's just that. Yeah, I don't know. It was just kind of a curious thing to go ahead and mention, I guess, just kind of in passing, you know. He just kind of just brought
a
up
weird
both of them.
exchange that you don't really notice until you're like, wait, why does he want them there?
Yeah. So, yeah, but I appreciate the response. Thank you, Josh, for that.
Yeah, thank you.
So, kind of going back to Mikasa, yeah, I mean, so she clearly misses the
missing
Eren of
Eren.
old. It's
Because the
really
Eren that
sad.
wrapped that scarf around her is a lot different than the Eren we see at the end of this episode.
Yeah, and yeah, that Eren isn't really wearing, you know,
Anything.
a whole
He's
lot of
wearing
clothes. No, he's wearing some pants,
He's got some pants on.
but he's been working on, you know.
Hey, he's buff.
Yeah, he's freaking shredded.
He's buff now. Yeah, dude's shredded. I don't know how that happened.
I don't
but
know either.
He's shredded
He
now.
looked like kind of like not a scrawny, but you could tell you when he was portraying this injured
I know.
soldier,
I'm like, how did you have time to work out then?
and now he's freaking shredded. It's kind of crazy.
What does being the founding Titan do to you? You suddenly get buff.
Maybe it's a Warhammer thing. I don't know.
I know. Maybe, yeah, since he got the Warhammer, now he's all buff.
For all you know, maybe
He's like, I'm actually it's hardening. I'm
maybe
creating hardening on my body.
Laura Tiber just got some freaking shredded abs underneath.
I know.
that.
We don't know. Maybe she was buff.
We don't know.
But we get the famous Tatake
Yeah.
scene.
Yeah. Eren again, he's just so focused on the goal.
He seems
On
like
the
he's
path.
really talking to himself.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, he is.
He's talking to himself.
Yeah, and
Future, past, and present Eren.
the only way to live is to fight. And we see before in the past that when Eren is prisoner in cells, he goes through
tends to go
incredible
through it.
memories and journeys, and he understands, and so
He's like reliving them.
he is having conversations with people, you know, through past
experiencing
memories.
things.
Like he is becoming a person who has now kind of almost adopted this ability that he has to fully understand like these past memories and understand these characters and their kind of goals,
He
motives,
sees like
and ambitions.
the whole timeline of his life.
Yeah, like in a weird kind of way, he's able to go ahead and kind of like have these conversations with his father, you know, through past, you know, memories and stuff, you know, and just again to kind of further understand
It's so
just
weird.
what the ultimate end goal is, you know, and yeah, nobody's gonna go ahead and prevent him from losing focus, from straying from it. Even if Armin says, let's just talk it out. No, Eren is not going to go ahead and you know, give anybody an opportunity to derail his plans.
Oh, Josh has some interesting questions.
Okay. Let's hear 'em out.
Well, first off, he says, with Peek and Porco, Zeke assumes that they think that he's dead or a traitor. So he's not thinking that they're going to come and save him. But he's like, okay, they think that I'm dead or a traitor, so they're not going to come and save me. He also said Zeke's enemy number one to Marley, aside from Aaron. And Josh asks, do you think being a Titan cures your diseases, like disabilities and like blindness and stuff?
That's a great question.
That is a good question. Well,
have we before had past
they've just grown
Titan
back
warriors that have been sick? Wasn't Dr. Saver sick or no?
I don't remember.
Did he live the entire 13 years? Was there anybody that was sick? Jake goes, I'm going to go get a shower and go to sleep. Hope everyone has a good night.
Good night, Jacob.
Oh, yeah, it's very, very late. We started later. But Jacob, thank you so much. Jacob, did you already give us a code?
Yes, he did.
Okay, perfect.
I got it in my brain.
All right. See everyone's fire. Okay, Jacob, thank you again, man. We appreciate you. You know, you're our favorite Jaegerist, and get some rest, bro.
Yeah.
We'll see you.
We'll see you next week, man. Well, I won't.
Yeah, Lexi
but you'll see. Yeah.
Yeah.
Have fun.
Zway says Colossal Titans in PUBG as well. Damn.
Wow.
Okay.
That seems OP.
That's some.
But okay, that's what it was. Saver was on his final year, and then he had to pass it on to Zeke.
All right. Damn, that's such a great question. Do you think a Titan cures your diseases and disabilities like blindness and stuff? Would you mind if we go ahead and we put that as a Q&A for this week?
Yeah,
I'd be curious to see what some of our friends say. I know that Bobby always has, really great responses too. I'm excited to see what he says. So he says to turn into a Titan, you have to go pin.
He said do it. Okay, we'll ask it. Sure thing.
Yeah.
We'll ask it.
Yeah, we'll go ahead and we'll do that. Yes. So Dr. Saber was on his final year. Yeah, I can't think of anybody that was necessarily
Well, we did talk about the whole hair thing in terms of turning into a Titan.
Yeah.
Like, can you grow your hair back?
I know that Udi was also in his final year, wasn't he?
Yeah, and he seemed like he had been through it.
Yeah.
Like old.
Was there anybody that was sick?
Well, they would have to be sick before turning into a Titan, and it doesn't seem like any of them were. Or any of them were sick during it, or any of them... Like, the most we've seen in terms of disability is them growing back limbs, obviously, and healing. But that's what I'm guessing. Like, if you were sick, I'm guessing that healing ability would go towards that. Or like if you had some kind of, like, for example, like a rash or something, or some kind of growth, I'm guessing that being a Titan and having the ability to transform would solve that.
Yeah, Josh is saying, and remember, Rhino got his head blown off and he grew his hair back. Yeah.
That's true.
Zoe says, can you lose control when you become a Titan?
Yeah.
Yeah, we've seen
Aaron's
first transformation. We've seen Falco's first transformation. I think it's something that you have
lose
to
control from lack of knowledge.
I think that if you are not trained, then yeah, your first transformation won't go well.
Yeah.
I think it's kind of like the Hulk factor, when you go out there and you become the Hulk and all of a sudden when you wake up, your fucking pants are all ripped. You're like, huh? What the fuck just happened?
I know.
Josh goes, I always thought being a shifter cures all impurities and stuff. I mean, that does make sense.
Too. That makes sense.
But I'm trying to think if we have any kind of like substantial evidence behind that. But it's hard kind of thinking about predecessors because there wasn't a whole lot of them. Because Kruger was in his final year. He passed along to Grisha. Grisha didn't have a long Titan lifespan.
Yeah, Josh said Zeke only wore glasses because they were Savers. Those are Savers glasses? I didn't even know that. Thank you, Josh.
Yeah, Zoe said you can actually go into a school and train to get the pin to become
a Titan in PUBG. Yeah, he put the directions and they'd be like, you have to go into the school and then go to the pin and you have to click the elevator and then you can turn to a Titan.
You know what would be crazy is the way like you asked about like turning into a Titan, like losing control. Imagine you actually have to go through a training period in PUBG to gain control as a Titan. Like you could transform into a Titan, but imagine your first time you have no control over it.
Yeah,
sometimes you have those like debilitators where like
it hinders your movement or whatever.
Yeah, you go out there and you have no control and the character's just moving.
Or there's like an automated animation where you're like, I can't get out of this animation.
Yeah. Josh says they were all perfect health until their last year, until they got like super AIDS.
Yeah, they got super AIDS in the last year. They just suddenly got aged and just
Damn, I can't think of anything. That's such a great question. Yeah, I'm excited to go ahead and see if any of our friends have any
we only ever see any self-inflicted injuries. We don't see any. Yeah, you're so right. No one's got a bad leg or something. Or hard of hearing, anything like that.
Different pin in PUBG, the Titan pin and the Attack Titan pin. Oh shit.
Oh.
You're like Aaron and collecting like Infinity Stones.
I know, yeah. You're like,
PUBG.
so this is where the Attack Titan is, this is where the Colossal is. That's cool that they have different Titans in PUBG. I'm gonna have to see some gameplay of that. I'm gonna have to look into that.
Yeah, I feel like that's what I always do, because I don't really like play a whole lot of video games.
But I'll see what it looks like.
But I get curious. I go ahead and I see gameplay.
But yes, the question is in our notes.
Okay.
I jotted it down.
Perfect. Thank you for that. Very cool. Alrighty. Great question again. Thank you so much, guys, for the cool info and knowledge and all that.
All your final thoughts.
I think that we're gonna go ahead and wrap it up, guys.
And I know the code.
We've been streaming for a little while now. Zoe says the Titan pin can turn into a normal Titan, and the Attack Titan pin is the Aaron Titan. But if you're a normal Titan, that means you're just a pure Titan.
Yeah,
but
does
like
it change?
Yeah, like what kind of Titan
What
is
you
that?
look like? What's a normal Titan look like? A pure Titan?
But all right, guys. So yeah, we're gonna go ahead and get to a little close here and wrap up this the stream, this episode. But again, just huge thanks to all of you for sticking around with us, joining us live over on YouTube. Remember, we will be streaming live on YouTube going forward. Streaming on Thursdays, and if anything changes, make sure you guys follow us over on Instagram at Attack Talk Podcast for the updates. Like I said, if anything changes, we'll let you guys know there. Make sure you guys go ahead and support our buddy Nate. Nate is the one that helped us get to a point where we're streaming. Over on YouTube, and he also gets the episodes all ready for publish. And like I stated last week for our first YouTube stream, what I will be doing is I will pretty much have the episode available throughout the weekend, and then on Sunday at some point is when I will have the stream no longer be available, and we will wait for the episodes to be made available by Nate when he gets them ready for publish. I know that Nate goes out there and he puts in work to make the episodes ready, and I don't think it makes sense to have a live stream version and an edited published version. So
you guys get the unedited for a little bit.
Yeah, if you want to catch the live stream, then just join us live and hang out with us, or you can go ahead and watch it.
Josh also asked if we like Twitch or YouTube more. Twitch was good for its run. It's just
YouTube's still growing on me, I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, YouTube is growing on me for sure.
But YouTube is an opportunity for us to grow as a podcast together. I did like the
we were just very comfortable and used to Twitch.
I think that with Twitch, I mean, again, like we went back-to-back weeks. We had multiple times where there was connectivity issues and technical,
and then Twitch would be down.
Yeah, Twitch was dealing with some stuff. And
there's a lot of Twitch issues that we would run into sometimes during our stream.
Yeah. So Twitch was a nice run for us, and we were grateful to go ahead and be streaming there for as long as we did. And I'm not going to say that we'll never be back on Twitch, because maybe we'll get to a point where we are multi-platform streaming live. But right now,
you just said Twitch is hard, I will say.
And I think that again, I'm
glad that you guys like YouTube better.
We're more available, I feel like, on YouTube for more people who maybe just want to go ahead and find a podcast about Attack on Titan.
Easier for you guys to access.
Where you can hang out and stuff,
Yeah.
So but I hope that everything as far as adjusting for all of you has been
especially because our episodes. Especially because our episodes are already all on YouTube.
Yeah.
So if we're already there, it'd be like, oh, it's really easy because you're already in the app.
That's true. I didn't even think about like the accessibility. So.
Thanks for your question, Josh.
Yeah, the goal has always been for the podcast to be available to those that are searching for that kind of content, you know, and I know that there will be a point where we are no longer streaming live. There will be a point where, you know, we will have our content of library all on YouTube, and somebody's going to go ahead and find it. And I think that they would, again, be more likely to find it on YouTube than they would to be, you know, kind of just, you can't really find it on Twitch because the library's not there.
Yeah.
You know?
Exactly to your point. Josh says YouTube can recommend live streams of things you like. So if you like AOT, you could get this stream recommended to someone newly entirely.
Yeah. And that would be great, you know?
Which is great. I love that YouTube does that.
We obviously,
I love YouTube.
Like Lexi joked about it, like, next week we will be officially in double digits of season 4. We'll be starting episode 10. We still have a lot of content to cover. We essentially break down each episode.
We're going to be on this for a while.
We break down one episode in a month.
Yeah.
So there's going to be plenty of content to come in the future. And I just want us to go ahead and grow together as a community, you know. And you guys know how proud I am of the community that was created because of this podcast. And you guys are all just so incredible. Your support just really means the world to us. And you guys know that we, you know, we want to go ahead and support you guys in any endeavors you guys are pushing to and striving towards. And whether that's anything with art or anything content wise, you guys know that we'll go ahead and we'll shout you guys out. So, but again, just eternally grateful. And then just so, just honored to be, you know, the host of this podcast. I never would have thought that this is what it would bring to my life.
And that we'd be doing this for years and years and years.
Exactly. And it's a special thing, really, you know? So again, I'm always thankful. I'm always just so appreciative of everything that this podcast brings me in my life, and of course that's all of you guys. And you know, I just want you guys to go ahead and follow along over for the ride and for the adventure. You know, it's going to be a fun thing. We're going to go ahead and get to talk about some badass moments, some funny moments, some, you know, exciting, cool moments, some sad moments, and that's all stuff that I want us to do together. So yeah, we still have a lot of content to cover, and who knows, you know, what AOT is going to bring to us in the future.
Yeah.
So, you know, we're here.
I wouldn't mind some more content too, you know.
Yeah, exactly.
It is what it is.
And then, you know, we've talked about, you know, maybe even starting up, you know, a One Piece podcast. I know, Josh, I don't think you watch One Piece.
Funny is who says next time do Death Note.
Interesting.
He wants a Death Note podcast.
Death Note would be really fun to go ahead and break down. Yeah, definitely. And you know what? I think that if we're going to do different podcasts and different themes and stuff, like I said, I'm going to go ahead and pass on the hosting, you know, reins to Zach for One Piece, because he obviously knows much more about One Piece than I do. And then maybe if we do a Death Note, maybe I go ahead and pass the hosting reins over to Lex.
You know what? That is my show.
Yeah.
Josh also said there's still a lot of people like me sometimes who can't tune live and don't talk and chat and just enjoy the podcast. That was me for a while before Twitch when I was on Spotify only.
Yeah, that's true. I do understand that, like, people do.
We have friends that have found us later on and have binged us to be like, okay, now I'm caught up, or still binging. I was just going through the DMs the other day and we got reels sent to us from one of our viewers who found us, I think, on TikTok and is like, oh, I'm still trying to catch up, but once I'm caught up, I'm going to join you guys live.
That's so freaking cool.
So they're still catching up.
Yeah, that's so cool. So it's stuff like that, again, that's special, but you're absolutely right, Josh.
There's a lot of people that don't join us live. That
people do tune in when the episodes are published over on Spotify, or if they're available on YouTube, or if they're on Apple Podcasts and stuff, you know. So again, it's something that I'm just really just proud of, you know, of what the podcast is about, and everything that we bring to it, you know. And I say we with all of you included, because as you guys can see here, the box right there in the bottom right is chat, because I want to make sure that you guys are very, very much part of this podcast, and that you guys are, you know. You guys are the podcast. I mean, again, you guys may think that we're bullshit, but like, if we weren't able to go and do this live and hang out with you guys, and you know, if we're just showing up to a studio and just recording and you know, not engaging with, you know, like-minded friends and stuff, and talking live with you guys. Fun. Yeah, we wouldn't have made it through season 3. No way. Josh says, "Oh, my favorite micro niche celebs," with a little heart. Yeah. Thanks, Josh. Yeah, appreciate that. But yeah, we're, you know, I've seen what celebrity status does to Justin.
I know we were just talking about Justin
talking about
Bieber right
Justin
now,
Bieber.
Josh.
Yeah, that
about him
shit's crazy.
crashing out, poor guy.
Hopefully,
He's
got
to find some kind of help to deal with his celebrity status. It's hard when all eyes are on you.
Yeah. But all right, guys. Again, it's getting late. I know it's getting late for some of you guys too.
Yeah, we got.
This is probably the first time that Jacob has had to go ahead and say bye because of how late it is.
Yeah, he's like, guys, it's time
He goes,
for bed.
it's time. I got to go to bed.
Same thing with Bobby. He was like, I have responsibilities.
Yeah, I know, exactly.
I gotta go to bed.
Exactly, but
And instead, Josh is like, I'm playing Marvel Rivals. What's up, guys?
yeah, but yeah. Again,
Tish was like,
Lexi.
yeah, you're our late night talk show host.
that's great. I like that.
Thanks.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Because
For
today
that.
is late night. Thank
Yeah.
you.
Yeah, we started a little bit later. So next week, barring any unforeseen events, Zach will be here and Lexi will not.
I'll be in the Philippines having
Lexi
the
will be
time
in
of my
the
life
Philippines.
with my boyfriend.
I will be here, and if things change, like I said, go ahead and follow us, and we'll go ahead and we'll up to you guys. Do you think you'll be able to go ahead and still post while you're out over in the Philippines?
I don't know, actually. Hopefully, I get on Luca's Wi-Fi,
Okay.
but I'll let you know. I don't know.
Just let me know so that
I can't do. Also, letting you know, I can't do any phone calls, but I could do FaceTimes and texts.
Okay.
But phone calls are going to charge, so I'm not doing any phone calls.
Okay. So you guys heard it here. Lexi's not
I don't
receiving
take
any of your
calls.
calls. Not receiving any of
I
your
don't
calls.
take calls anymore, guys. Either FaceTime or text me. Okay.
Okay, you guys should do horror game streams in October.
Oh my
know what's
god,
crazy?
I would love to see AJ play a horror
We
game.
were talking about it, and I was even in this podcast. We were talking about scary movies and stuff like that, and I was like, I just scary stuff. I just don't do. I don't really like it. So it would be pretty hilarious seeing me in a scary horror game type streams and stuff.
Yeah.
And I think that you guys will get a kick out of that. Zoe says, I will see you guys in the next live stream. Awesome. Zoe,
Bye, Zoe.
we'll see you there. And
saying our live stream today was fire.
awesome.
Thanks.
Love that. And again, you guys are.
We said I'm not leaving yet.
I'm leaving it. Okay.
Right. But you will be there next time.
Yeah.
Cool.
That would be so funny. Clips for days.
Clips
yeah.
per day. I know.
Honestly-
There's times that I'll play so I play Fortnite with my friends.
Uh-huh.
And Fortnite is basically a gaming platform for other games,
says play
essentially, is what it is. And yeah, play FNAF. And sometimes we'll play horror games on there. And it's so funny because I'm playing and I'm like, okay, guys, hold on, let's turn off the lights. Hold on, I'm turning off the lights in my room first. I got to set the mood. I got my headphones on. I have them like turn low. And like sometimes I can tell there's going to be a jump scare and I'm like, I'll take my headphones off for a second. Or sometimes, man, some of those jump scares are just so stupid. They're just so, I open up a door and there's just something jumping out at me and I will literally scream into my microphone.
You know what's funny?
But it's fun because then you're like, okay, you lead.
Play Dead by Deadlight.
Someone else
Voorhees.
leave.
I used to play the Friday the 13th game.
Yeah.
And that would be a fun thing to go ahead and stream, but the server isn't available anymore.
I know. That's
But
sad.
if, like, let's say, I'm playing and I see you guys in chat, you guys are telling me to turn off the lights, I would say, fuck that. I'm
Yeah,
not
I'm not
turning off the
doing that.
lights. No,
I'm playing
fuck
this
that,
with it-
guys.
with it on.
Not doing that. The lights are staying on.
Turn your headphones up. It's too quiet.
I know.
No.
You guys would be so mad at me because I would go ahead and you would just see the pause,
Yeah, the pause
whatever,
screen all the time.
And I'd just be like,
I'm not doing
I
it.
know something's
Not
going to
doing
happen,
it.
guys.
Not
I know
doing
something's
it.
going to happen.
You're too much of an overthinker to play.
Louise says you can play Outlast or even Dead Space.
Hello, Louise.
What's up, Louise? I played Dead Space way back when it was the first game, the first one,
Outlast
and then when
is
it
so scary.
when it came out, and I remember I had to stop playing because of how fucking intense it was, and I just I don't know, being chased is my biggest fear. I just couldn't do it.
Oh, yeah.
What about a Star Wars game? I guess Star Wars is not really that scary, is there? Unless it's a scary game called Star Wars and they're trying to bait you
Star
into
Wars
playing.
games aren't bad. But yeah, horror and AJ just do not mix very well.
It would be very comedic, though, to go ahead and see me play on a
Spider
stream.
horror game. I'm sure there is.
Oh, fuck that.
The horror games I've played have been about like mannequins and stuff,
Yeah.
and it's just like, wow, cool.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean,
Terrifying.
that's an interesting idea, and I don't know.
Maybe remind us
But
around October.
If I do that, I would want, my team here with me.
No,
for
we will
support.
be here with you.
I would want
We'll have to take turns.
Lex and Zach. We'll have to take turns with whatever, if it's like missions or levels and stuff like that. I would need a time to just breathe.
Yeah.
Not have the suspenseful control in my hands with the controller.
A time to just watch someone do it and be
Yeah.
like, okay.
Yeah, so that would be a fun thing to do, and maybe we can do that down the line.
In solidarity, we will get scared together.
Yeah, for sure. It's called Huntman. I think the horror spider game.
Oh, like the Huntsman spider.
I think I know what game you're talking about. Or maybe I've heard of it. If it's an older game.
Wow.
Yeah. That'd be a fun thing to do. Something to think about for sure in the future, guys. But like I said, it's getting late. All I want to say again in closing is before Lexi goes and gives us Jacob's code.
I know Jacob doesn't even get to hear it,
But
we're saying it.
if you guys have anything you guys are pursuing or any like anything you want us to shout out, let us know. Like DM us if you guys want us to add anything over to the YouTube bio. We altered it a little bit because we had the same one over and over again for years now, where we had like a Fandomian link. We had our friend Caesar, his Etsy link that isn't available anymore. So we went ahead and kind of like made it a little bit more, I guess, modern and
Just updated it a little.
We updated exactly, and if you guys want us to add you over to that, to go ahead and just shout out you guys on stuff that you guys are pursuing,
If you
like
guys
for
have
art
some
or whatever
personal
and stuff.
hustles and stuff, or just want to share your passion and your art and stuff, like let us know.
For sure.
We'd love to share your guys' like art and your guys' little passion projects.
If you guys want us to just go ahead and just throw your Instagram in, like, we're not just gonna go ahead.
Yeah, we're not gonna
like,
shout you out.
Just put my handle in there, like.
Okay, but why?
If you guys, like I said, have like a passion that you guys are interested in, or like a hobby and stuff you guys are doing,
That you
like
post about,
you just want to shout out and stuff,
Spread the
But
word.
yeah, just DM us. We'll go ahead and we'll make that available.
Okay,
and,
so what you said, I'm leaving for real now. My YouTube channel name is Wetu.
Yeah.
I make one video once a year.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh yeah. All right, Zoe. Well, thank you again
Bye,
for
Zoe.
everything. Get some rest, man. We'll go ahead and we'll see you. Next
I
week.
won't see you next week, but whatever.
Louis says,
man.
me too. I was having a hard time with Outlast and I couldn't end the game by my own. Yeah,
You need friends.
I would not be able to go ahead and end the game.
I wouldn't be able to do a horror game if I wasn't playing it with my friends, like online, and I could make them
no
go
way.
through loading screens first. Be like, you go first.
Yeah.
This time you lead. I led last time. That's where all the jump scares happen.
Josh also asked, would you guys ever make a Discord server? Actually, there is a Discord server made, but it's just to
We haven't really done.
it's just to
anything with it.
communicate with Nate whenever there's any kind of tech stuff. But I don't use social media. I don't have social media, so I don't know. I wouldn't be in charge of that and stuff, so I wouldn't even know. But there is a Discord server, I guess, technically. But like I said,
We'll let you know when it's fully ready for you guys. Okay, it's not ready yet. We'll let you know.
maybe when Zach's back, maybe it's something that I can we can talk about with Zach and see if it's something that he wants to go ahead and kind of just lead. But yeah, I mean, there's opportunities for us to go ahead and continue to connect and to grow as a podcast.
Yeah.
Alrighty, guys. What else? Josh, he said something about his art.
I did a piece for my favorite movie,
yeah,
Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless
Oh, that movie is
Mind,
beautiful. It's so sad too,
with
though.
a bunch of watercolors.
That's so cool, man. Yeah, it just says I love the movie. Yeah, it is. It's
all right. So check out his Instagram then.
We'll link it when this
will link
episode is published, right? When Nate goes out there and he does his thing, we'll add Josh's link over to where it says if you're interested in art. We have our friend Caesar. His link is available there for his Instagram, and we'll also include Josh, so you guys can go ahead and see what Josh is coming up with. But yeah, it's such a beautiful movie. That's where you knew it was like, well, Jim Carrey's just not all about comedy.
Yeah, it's like, oh,
Yeah.
okay.
He's committed to being an incredible actor. Maybe sometimes too committed. If you guys have seen that Man on the Moon
I know.
documentary. But all right, guys. So that's all we got for you guys. Appreciate you guys so much. Love you guys. You guys be safe out there. And I know it's late, so get some rest. Hopefully you guys enjoy the rest of your week. Like I said, have a great weekend. And I will be back. Zach will hopefully be back Lexi will not. Let's all just wish Lex the best
Safe
of
travels.
fun. Obviously, be safe, Lex. Obviously as your older brother, just like I said last
Don't worry,
week.
he's meeting me at my layover, guys. Don't worry.
You better come back.
Yeah, you better come back. Yeah. We'll see. I'm just kidding.
yeah.
Yeah, I'll
I know, exactly.
enjoy your vacation.
Watch.
Be safe. Thank you, Josh.
I can see it now. Future podcast episodes where we have Lexi zooming in from Philippines. We have
Yeah.
Zach freaking zooming in from Europe.
That's when you're going to be forced to do the Discord because then
I
we're
know.
going to have to somehow oversee.
We'll have to go ahead and get you guys in over on the whatever webcam.
It's okay.
But no, again, let's all wish Lexi, safe travels, and I know Lexi's gonna have an incredible time.
I can't be picky. I'm gonna have to eat new foods, and you guys will hear all about it.
Yeah, we're excited to go ahead and
Tune
hear
in
about
2
it.
weeks.
Yeah,
Or no, 3 weeks to hear all about it.
3 weeks, right?
Because I'm gonna
there
be
for 2
out
weeks.
for 2 weeks.
Okay.
But I come back on Wednesday, so if I'm not super jet lagged, I'll probably be back in the episode.
Yeah, it's kind of the same thing with Zach.
Yeah. So
Zach's
I'll let you
getting
know
back.
if I'm really jet lagged.
Okay.
Just because it's like a 14.
No, yeah,
14 hour
completely
flight.
understandable. You can go ahead and get your rest and stuff for sure. But point
Chicken
being,
tenders and fries only. I wish they're not gonna serve chicken tenders and fries in the Philippines. They barely have Mexican food out there. So I don't know what I'm doing. We'll figure it out. They got burgers though.
yeah. Alrighty, so I'm gonna say bye, and then I'm gonna get up and go ahead and move over so I can end
Turn it
the
off.
stream. But
While you're doing that, I can give the code and say my goodbyes.
yeah. So again, guys, this is AJ signing off. Spread that love and positivity. The world needs it more now than ever. I love you guys so much. Again, be safe. I'll see you guys next week. Alrighty, that's all I got. Peace out.
Yeah. Bye guys. Be safe. Code freedom because we all deserve it, according to Jacob. Thank you for that. And because Zach isn't here, in honor of Zach, I'm going to give you guys one of my favorite Bible verses, Exodus 14:14, which basically just says, "The Lord will fight for you, and you only need to remain calm and silent." That's it.
Bye, guys. See you, Josh. See you, Louise. See you, Tish. See you guys later.
Bye, everyone.